B92.7 is KBMW Breckenridge Wapaton. All the hits from 2KM today. Tonight's game is a presentation of B92.7 FM Sports.
Section 6A playoffs are on the air. Tonight's Breckenridge Cowboys game is brought to you by Breckenridge Public Schools, Builders First Source, Carlson Family Insurance, CHI St. Francis, Essentia Health, Farmers Union Oil of Southern Valley, Frederick Seed, Hike Camp Construction, Miller Realty, Minn Kota Ag Products, Ottertail Power Company, Quality Toyota, Red River Agency, Red River Grain, Smith Motors, State Farm Agents Matt and Amanda Frederick, Titan Machinery, Twin Town Villa, Vision Ford, American Family Insurance Miller & Associates, Bell Bank, Big John's Car Pro, Breckenridge Drug, Bremer Bank, Mindeck Farmers Cooperative, St. Catherine's, Somerville Electric, and Valley Beach Service and Manufacturing. Now, here's KBMW's Turner Blofis.
And welcome to the Red River Grain pregame show, serving the local farmers since 1986, and it is time for some Breckenridge Cowboys playoff football. And you know what? Since it's playoffs, I figured, kind of a special occasion. I figured I would break out the big guns, brought some backup with me. Joining me is my coworker, top 3 coworker of mine, Robert Wanek, hopping into the press box today, coming over from the Wapaton football coverage over to Breckenridge. How's it going? Nice to have you back, Bert.
It's going good, but you don't got to lie to everybody. I'm just here to run the camera tonight.
Well, you'll be chiming in every now and then, making sure everything looks great. By the way, that opening looked gorgeous, by the way. Nice work on that. You guys better make sure to go back and loop back to that. But Breckenridge Cowboys entered this game with the number 2 seed in Section 6A. Ended up vaulting a little bit higher than some folks maybe expected them to land. We'll run through their season schedule so far. Bit of a rocky start. They had to face off with 3 straight AA opponents. Fell to Pelican Rapids and Staples Motley in lopsided fashion. And then the Pillager game is kind of where they started to kind of figure it out a little bit. Ended up losing that one 27-19, but came back with a pair of victories back-to-back. That 36-point second half keying their Pine River Bacchus win. And then that nail-biter against Parker's Prairie, who ended up getting the 3 seed in Section 6A. So a potential clash if Breckenridge is going to be lucky enough to move on to Saturday's game. Fell to New York Mills in overtime 22-14. And then bounced back with a pair of lopsided victories to close out the regular season. Wadena Deer Creek beat up on them 40-0. And then Walker-Hackensack-Akeley 48-7 was the final there. And Section 6A, they got Lake Park-Audubon, as I said, at the 7 seed, coming into this one with a record of 2-6 so far. Started off the year with a 29-0 loss to Parker's Prairie. Got their first victory with a 24-6 victory over Monaga. Fell to Red Lake County 39-6. Put 65 points on Red Lake. Yikes, 65-6 was the final there for their second victory, and then 4 games to close out the 4 straight losses to close out the regular season, and all coming in lopsided fashion. Ada Borup bested them 28-8. They fell to Polk County West by a score of 20-0. Manobin Waban won that one 39-14, and then Bagley, they closed out the regular season at Bagley with a 44-22 loss. So let's dive into our Power Poll ranking, brought to you by Ottertail Power Company on for conservation. And as we said, Breckenridge ended up getting the 2 seed. Ahead of them is West Central Area, despite not playing a single section game. Don't see that too often, but they're still kind of, as some folks who might not be aware, West Central Area was originally not going to be in Section 6A. They were with Ashby, and they were in AA, but then they ended up splitting, so they had to go back to single A, and the schedule was made a couple years ago, so that's why they kind of had the weird schedule. But anyways, they were 6-2. QRF had them at 13th in the state. And then Breckenridge up next with a 4-4 record. Only one other team in this section with a winning record. Parker's Prairie at 5-3, below Breckenridge because QRF. Breckenridge was actually below them in the QRF, but Breckenridge beat Parker's Prairie in the head-to-head matchup. And one of the new things that they tinker with the QRF is they lean to whoever won that tiebreaker matchup, which I'm a big fan of. And then Walker-Hackensack-Akeley coming in at the 4 spot as they could not get leapfrogged by New York Mills, who they beat in their head-to-head matchup. Both of those teams, actually, Walker-Hackensack-Akeley, New York Mills, and Brandon Evansville-Ashby, back-to-back-to-back at 3-5 on the year. Lake Park-Audubon, we'll see tonight, 2-6, as we mentioned, and they are 41st in the state by QRF. And at the bottom is winless Pine River Bacchus, who has to square off with West Central Area to start off the Section 6A tournament. And that's a look at your Power Poll ranking, once again brought to you by Ottertail Power Company. On for conservation, seems like a good time to run through the stats. You want to get in here at all? Robert, talk some stats for you at all? If you want to, get her pulled up for me.
No, I'm good. I'm trying to do my best Roman impression here. Our awesome engineer running stuff. I'm not quite as good with tech, but just making sure everything fires and just letting you do the heavy lifting, Turner.
His name's Roman. I've been calling him Romulus. I'm just kidding. We love you, Romulus. But I wanted to let you know the rushing leaders so far for Breckenridge. Paul Armitage with 373 yards, almost identical to David Erlinson, right behind him at 372. And their carries are even almost identical, which is kind of surprising with all the games that David Erlinson's missed. But Paul Armitage has also been banged up this year. He's got 60 carries to David's 61, both averaging a little over 6 yards a pop. Paul Armitage has a team-high 6 touchdowns. David Erlinson up next with 4 touchdowns. Let's move on to Lawson Olphins. Got 192 yards, averaging 13 yards a pop, getting in it and absolutely shredding in garbage time.
You'd have about 400 if some of those weren't called back, as Coach Yagi alluded to on the Giant Sports Show.
He's had two very long runs called back, and there was also a pick 6. That wasn't his last week, but Paul Armitage had a pick 6 waved off last week as well. So we've had a lot of fun touchdowns called back, which is kind of a bummer. 192 yards, as we said, for Lawson Olphins, despite not really getting a whole lot of carries, only 15 touches on the year out of the backfield. Riley Kappas up next, 178, averaging a little under 7 yards a carry. They love using him as kind of the wildcat quarterback, but he'll sling it every now and then as well. Speaking of quarterbacks, Trey Vogelbacher, 35 carries, 153 yards, about 4.5 yards a carry. And then we have Gabe Armitage getting some touches out of the backfield as well, 21 carries for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. And better get those touchdowns for you again. Riley Kappas has got 3 of them. Trey Vogelbacher's got 3. And 2 for Lawson Olphins. Everybody else has 1 or none. So
and an 83-yard scamper for Avery Smith.
Oh, yep.
2 carries, 92 yards. Pretty good yards per for him.
I was sure you were going to tell me about Eli Butts' rushing yards.
Oh, he 1 carry a first down, 10 yards for the big man, 56 power.
Reggie Bush only averaged 9 yards a carry in college. So let's remember that when we talk about Eli Butts' 10 yards per carry average. But let's move on to the next portion of the stats. Trey Vogelbacher through the air so far, 35 for 72, 569 yards. 3 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. They'd love to see that ratio come up. We'll see if he gets any opportunities to kind of air it out tonight. It's going to be a night where the wind is going to be a factor, it looks like. So I'm not 100% sure how much we're going to see the Cowboys open up the playbook in that regard. Riley Kappas, 3 for 9 on the year, 68 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception on the year. Pulling down these passes, though. Levi Christensen has a team-high 248 yards on 13 catches, 19 yards a grab for a tight end. That's very impressive. Still looking for his first TD on the year, though. And then we have 2 touchdowns on the year for Cooper Roberts. He's got 240 yards on a team-high 15 catches, so 16 yards a grab. And then we have J.D. Gomez, 7 catches for 112 yards and 1 touchdown on the year. So he's got 1 of the 3 receiving touchdowns so far for Breckenridge. We'll move on to the next portion of the stat report. Once again, brought to you by State Farm agents Matt and Amanda Frederick.
So we take a look at the defensive stats here, Turner. A lot to unpack, so I'll just touch on some of the stat leaders, and I'll let you go through some of the other numbers. And for those of you folks listening on B92.7 FM, we do have these graphics on KBMW News Live YouTube. So feel free to pause it and just go find your favorite player and see how they're doing on defense. Leading the Cowboys defense this year in tackles, David Erlinson, missing some time, does not matter, 24.5 total tackles. In sacks, it's Kai McDonald, kind of sneaky there, 3.5 sacks to lead the defense. Interceptions, we have a couple players with 2. That's Riley Kappas and J.D. Gomez, the acquisition this year. I shouldn't say acquisition, they didn't trade for him, but the new addition to the team moving from across the river. And then fumble recoveries for this team, they have 9 of them. So as a team, 10 interceptions, 9 fumble recoveries, 15 sacks. It's been mostly good this year for the Cowboys defense. 19
turnovers forced in 8 games. That's very impressive. Over 2 a game. And lately, they've just been absolute ball hawks. We actually talked about that on our interview that we had with head coach Carson Yagi. And we'll actually send you over to that interview after this quick break on the Red River Grain pregame show. Serving the local farmers since 1986. You're listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live.
My name is Christy Baumhart. I am proud to be a part of the school district with dedicated staff, including administration, teachers, paraprofessionals, cooks, and custodians who are kind, caring, compassionate, and committed to the students in our district. They support, respect, and help one another succeed. One thing I am really excited about is the technology available to our students as it enhances their learning experience in the classroom. Not only as an employee, but also as a parent, I know the benefits of having both my children in the Breckenridge School District. Breckenridge Pride. We inspire to excel.
Frederick Seed Incorporated in Fox Home would like to wish the Breckenridge Cowboys good luck in tonight's game. They'd also like to recognize the Breckenridge cheerleading squad, Ella and Paige Hershey, Sophia Johnson, Athena Levy, and Annabelle and Aubrey Martinez. Frederick Seed Incorporated says keep up the great work to the Breckenridge Cowboys football team and the cheerleading squad.
Folding a fitted sheet, programming the thermostat, matching your socks. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your home doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like finding that missing sock. That's simple human sense.
That's Carlson Family Insurance in Wapaton, representing auto owners insurance. Visit Carlson Family Insurance Agency in Wapaton today. Call 672-6002 or on the web at www.cfiagency.com.
Your daughter has the flu. Your son breaks his arm. You need quality medical care you can count on. CHI St. Francis Primary Care Walk-In Clinic. Quality family care. Go to the Primary Care Walk-In Clinic at CHI St. Francis, where there is no appointment necessary. Hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 7:30 and 9 to 5 on the weekend. Quality care close to home. You get the finest care for home injuries, common illnesses, and emergency service. Virtual visit available. Call 643-0747. We treat you like family. You're one of our own.
What can you do in 30 seconds? Warm up your coffee, tie your shoes, Google, should I get screened for lung cancer? Then actually get screened for lung cancer. If you're a current or former smoker, talk with an Essentia Health provider about your eligibility for a low-dose CT screening, because early-stage lung cancer often has no signs or symptoms. Screening can mean an increased chance of successful treatment. Learn more at essentiahealth.org.
Welcome back to the Red River Grain pregame show, serving the local farmers since 1986, and it is playoff time, folks. And joining me for this playoff pregame interview is head coach Carson Yagi for the Breckenridge Cowboys, the number 2 seeded Breckenridge Cowboys, I should say. How's it going today, Carson?
Oh, doing good. How are you, Turner?
I'm fantastic. Playoff football coming our way, and it's going to be an absolute blast. We got Lake Park-Audubon coming to town for the 2-7 matchup, and if you guys can be fortunate enough to win this one, obviously not overlooking this game, but I just want to point out, having the 2 seed, it's got to be nice to know that hypothetically, if you do get 2 playoff games, you're going to be on your home field both games.
Yeah, no, that's it's just a very good sign. You always love playing on home field. It's something you got to earn, especially come playoff time. You got to earn the right to be able to play in your home field, be comfortable with where you're at, and get to play in front of your home crowd is always a blast.
Gotcha. I'm sure the guys were pretty excited when they found out that it was the 2 seed. Did you guys know that was a good possibility of landing there, or were you kind of surprised as well?
We kind of thought we had a half-decent possibility of it. We didn't think we were going to get that close to Parker's Prairie and the QRF, as we were hoping we would, and ended up getting a pretty good jump from our last win over Walker, and was just excited to see us there the possibility to be able to maybe play 2 playoff games if we're lucky enough to win.
Gotcha. And you run up against one of the teams in your section that you guys haven't played against. What's the scouting report so far on LPA?
Yeah, Lake Park, they got a lot of really good athletes. A quarterback, a really good player, likes to scramble and make plays kind of after the design play breaks down. A couple of really good athletes on the outside that are really quick and really good with the ball in their hands. Got to make sure we limit their opportunities and keep them kind of corralled up. They do a couple different things offensively where, hey, they got everyone in as tight as you can to the formation, and they do the exact opposite where they're going to spread you out as much as possible. So it'll be a really good test for our defense to, be able to find balance and be good at defending both the run and the pass.
Speaking of the defense, you guys had some ball hawks out there last week, and a little bit about how the defense was not only shutting down their foes, but also just forcing turnovers like none other.
Yeah, that's been great to see. The kids did an unbelievable job of communicating pre-snap, so they knew what coverage we were in, knew where their alignment needed to be, and they just went out and played football. And our defensive line did a great job of putting pressure on the quarterback, so we had to probably get rid of the football a little bit earlier than we wanted, and the secondary made plays off it, and just whenever they got the chance, they were always right there and came down with the football.
And a lot of different places have seen personnel changes over the year. That's just how seasons go. Talk a little bit about the offensive line and kind of the cohesiveness for those guys and how they're working right now.
Yeah, I thought last Wednesday was by far the best game they've played all year. Being able to kind of get consistently the same group of guys out there. They've had a couple more games together to be, or with how they're shaped up right now, to where, hey, they're starting to really play fast. They understand what the person's next to them is doing. They're doing a good job of communicating, and they're just getting more and more confident with what they're seeing. As now we've seen, just about every defense you can see throughout the entire course of the year.
Gotcha. And a little bit about how you guys probably have some stuff saved up. Obviously, you don't need to tell me about any plays you have kind of in the back of your in the back of the playbook. You're waiting for the playoffs or anything. But what is it like to maybe try to get some different? Are you guys ever trying to work in some new stuff still at this point in the year, or is it just kind of cherry picking on from what worked in the regular season?
It's a little bit of both. You gotta have answers to specific things that you think the defense is going to give you in that specific game. But also, come playoff football, things happen so quick. The turnaround's so quick. You don't have that full week to really sit back, dissect, and prepare. You got to be really good at what you've done all year, what you've done the prior 8 weeks of the year, and do that to the best of your abilities, and maybe have one or two little wrinkles off it to where you can hope to make a big play.
You guys have been kind of favorites in the section. Basically, since joining Section 6A, almost every year you guys are the favorite or in the mix for being the favorite. What is it like for the guys to try to, kind of keep them down a little bit, like, try not to overlook this foe coming into the 2-7 matchup?
Yeah, we know Lake Park's a very good team. They do a lot of really good things, and it's not easy. We kind of point back to last year's second-round playoff game. Hey, we saw a 6-seed New York Mills come in and give us everything they possibly could, and upset us in the second round on our home field last year. And, you never can take anything for granted come playoffs. Anyone can beat anyone. It's going to come down to a couple plays here and there. We just got to make sure we're ready for it and have the exact mindset to where it's a next play mentality. And if something does go wrong and if something goes right, it's still the next play. I got to continuously make good decisions.
Gotcha. And then as far as injuries go, it looks like you guys are pretty good across the board for the most part. But I believe David Erlinson, probably a game-time decision for you guys once again this week.
Yeah, David's still a game-time decision for us. We'll hope to get him back here soon. But, it's just so finicky right now with how he's feeling and everything. And other than that, it feels like we're in a pretty good spot health-wise going into playoffs. And you never can be too sure with how many games they have you play or in this short period of time. So it's good to be in the spot we're in.
I don't know about you, but or maybe any of the kids on the team, but I bet you just get giddy when you know that one of your best players or captains on the team even can just be rejoining when you guys are playing this well. Does that just get you guys even more excited for this playoff run?
Yeah, it does. We know how good of a player David is, and we know what he can do for us both offensively and defensively. And to be able to add that type of kid back into the mix to where now you can start to distribute the workload a little bit. It's not Paul having to carry the load as much. We can give a couple carries to David, or hey, it's not Gabe Armitage having to do all the blocking. Now we can have David block for Paul a little bit more, and just kind of keep guys fresher as each game goes on.
Gotcha. Anything else you'd like to add, Coach Cars?
Nope, that's everything. Go Cowboys, Turner.
And we'll return to the Red River Grain pregame show after this quick break. Big jobs, small jobs, and everything in between. Heidkamp Construction has served commercial and industrial clients in the Southern Valley and beyond since 1982. They are your fully licensed construction company, providing earthwork, paving, structural steel, and more. Need a new concrete parking lot or roofing? How about a new metal building for your farm or business? Call Heidkamp Construction in Wahpeton today at 642-5948 for superior construction service you can trust. Call 642-5948. Buying a new home is an exciting experience, but it can be a stressful one too. Miller Realty can help relieve some of that stress with a simple formula of integrity, trust, and most importantly, experience. Their talented team is made up of Guy, Shelly, Jared, Lisa, Melissa, and Stephanie. They've put in the years helping people buy and sell their homes, and they understand this market. Miller Realty is a trusted legacy business in the Twin Towns. Put their knowledge and experience to work for you. Miller Realty in Breckenridge, a lasting tradition of experience, knowledge, integrity, and trust. Find them online at GuyMillerRealty.com.
Minn Kota Egg Products proudly supports the communities we serve by sponsoring the broadcast of this high school sporting event. When a team takes the field, there is nothing like experience you can count on to produce a winning season. Minn Kota has that experienced team, supported by the latest technology, products, equipment, and information to deliver a winning game plan for your farm. Contact our locations in Breckenridge, Barney, Kent, Wyndmere, Wahpeton, and Colfax. Let our team lead you to a successful farming season.
North Dakota State College of Science is powered by the strong local connections we have with employers, business partners, program advisors, and local business leaders. We're proud to call Wahpeton home. Find out more about how you or your business can support NDSCS by visiting ndscs.edu. That's ndscs.edu.
Getting you back to what you love. We are Optimum Rehab. For over a decade, Dr. Tony Egeman has provided physical therapy services for the people of Wahpeton, Breckenridge, and surrounding communities. We're a small practice that sees our patients as individuals. Through hands-on techniques, our patients have their treatment plans tailored to their exact needs. Sprains, sore muscles, back pain, achy joints, rehab following surgery, you name it. Optimum Rehab is your answer. When you need exceptional physical therapy, you need Optimum Rehab.
You want what you want. At Quality Toyota, we totally understand that we aren't going to talk you into a car you don't want. Instead, we're here to help you find the car, the color, the options, and the style that you do want. All with a simple, easy, and stress-free approach, because the price listed online or in every windshield is the only price. That way, we can concentrate on getting you the right car. Quality Toyota, West Lincoln Avenue in Fergus Falls. QualityToyota.net. Let's go places.
And welcome back to the Red River Grain pregame show. Serving the local farmer since 1986, Turner office along with Robert Wanek. And it's time to dive into our injury report brought to you by CHI St. Francis. And, you know, take this with a grain of salt, but Coach Carson Yankee says they're sitting pretty good on injuries. The only one he listed was David Erlinson as questionable. You get superstitious with injuries at all, Robert? As far as if you were in the coach's shoes, I don't know. Would you where would you be at with doling out information on injuries?
Well, you know, I was just like a walking injury, so I would have never been able to be good to go. But a kid like David Erlinson, he's a little bit tougher than I ever was, and apparently he's a game time decision tonight, 50-50 call.
Every time, I get the biggest grin ever on my face every time I hear game time decision. I'm like, well, does that mean he's playing or not? Figure it out, Turner. It's a game time decision. But
and what did the staff say? He was finally able to kind of kick it into high gear during the walkthrough. But we were talking yesterday. I mean, even that kid's low gear is a little quicker than most.
Oh yeah, it's more so just trying to kind of fight through the pain that kind of comes with it, and not really worrying about, just kind of remembering to forget about the injury. You know, you hear about those athletes that come back from like ACL tears and stuff like that. And obviously, David's wasn't that severe, but you hear about the guys who kind of struggle a little bit getting back and just feeling like themselves. So they're hoping that David feels that way. They wanted him to be 100% comfortable. They threw him out there, so I think that's going to be the case today. We'll see if he gets some good run today. But that's your injury report. Once again, brought to you by CHI St. Francis. And now let's dive into our keys to the game, brought to you by Smith Motors in Wahpeton. Small town friendly, big town deals. And this is going to apply to both sides of the ball, because I think that Breckenridge has taken a big step here in the last few weeks. They got to keep dominating up front. The offensive line has looked incredible. I know I'm going to run through these guys when I get to the offensive line on the starting lineups, but I'm just going to shout them out right here because they've been outstanding as of late. Eli Butts at a tackle, Tegan Abel next to him, Henry Sledadall in the middle, and that's been one of the big additions here, getting him over to the center position. Tucker Snyder at a guard today, and then Connor Ernst at a tackle. And we've seen Kai McDonald starting there primarily for Tucker Snyder, but Tucker Snyder's been rotating in and has been important there as well, as we finally figured out who number 71 was, thankfully. And then we, on the defensive side of the ball, Kai McDonald, as we mentioned, Levi Christensen in the trenches as well, and Henry Sledadall. They're kind of the three down linemen. And then coming off the edge, we got a lot of really good rushers as well. And so I'm just going to say, keep dominating up front. They've been setting the tone and paving lanes for these running backs to make their lives really easy, while also, just absolutely shutting down defenses by not even letting them get out of the first level. So that's our key to the game, brought to you by Smith Motors in Wahpeton. Small town friendly, big town deals. Now it is time for your starting lineups, brought to you by Farmers Union Oil of Southern Valley, providing superior quality products and services while generating a positive return for their patrons. And it looks like I don't think I'm going to have time to also run through LPAs. So we're just going to stick with Breckenridge's today, and we'll go back to those old linemen I was just telling you about. Eli Butts, the senior captain on this squad, wears number 56, 6 foot 245, and a heck of a Wildcat quarterback while he's at it. And then next to him is Tegan Abel, a junior, rocking number 54, 6 foot 195. Henry Sledadall, another junior on the interior, wearing number 50. The center is listed at 5'10", 195. Tucker Snyder and Connor Ernst, pair of sophomores next to each other on that side of the line. Snyder wearing number 71, 6'1", 170 is what he's listed at, while Connor Ernst wears number 55. The double nickel is listed at 5'11", 170. Levi Christensen, tight end wearing number 5. You know I'm going to love him. He's a junior, listed at 6'3", 200 pounds. The receivers are Cooper Roberts and J.D. Gomez. Cooper being a junior wearing number 4. J.D. Gomez rocking number 7. Roberts listed at 6'5", at 185, and then J.D. Gomez, 5'9", 160. The Armitage boys in the backfield, we got Gabe listed at 5'10", 175. He's a junior wearing number 20, and then Paul Armitage listed at 5'11", 195. Number 33 is a senior captain on this squad. Trey Bolgebacher, the other senior captain at QB. He wears number 3, listed at 6 foot 175. On defense, J.D. Gomez starts at a corner, and on the other side of him is Charlie Craychaw. They're both listed at 5'9", 160. Craychaw wearing number 18. J.D. once again wearing number 7. Lawson Oliphant, who has been outstanding at free safety this year, also moving over to corner at times, but free safety is kind of really where he's made his hay this year. The junior wears number 28 and is listed at 6'3", 170. They got 5 linebackers listed starting, and we already ran through 4 of them, so I'll hit on their names again. We got Vogelbacher, Roberts, and then Paul Armitage. By the way, my apologies, 3 of them, because starting on the defensive side of the ball, according to our starting lineups, is David Erlinson, 5'10", 195. He's a junior captain, wearing number 21. And Riley Kappas, the other linebacker, 5'11", 170, wears number 1. Is the only sophomore that starts on this defense. Very veteran-savvy defense. And then up front, as we mentioned earlier, Henry Sledadall at a D-lineman, Levi Christensen, and Kai McDonald. McDonald wears number 51. Is a 6 foot 185-pound junior. And then for the skill position folks for you, because we got all the special team fans out there, I know. Cooper Roberts will be handling the kicking duties and also the punting duties. The snapper is Levi Christensen. Holders Riley Kappas. And listed as the returners, we got J.D. Gomez and Riley Kappas. I know they kind of do the punts usually, but it's mostly been J.D. and Jackson Lopez or Joey Lopez.
Depends on which number is in the roster for tonight.
I am going to be getting those two mixed up for the rest of their careers, so let's just get that out of the way. But Joey Lopez is who is listed on the roster as number 23, so let's stick with that. Hopefully that's good. But that is a look at your starting lineups. Once again, brought to you by Farmers Union Oil of Southern Valley, providing superior quality products and services while generating a positive return for their patrons. Now we'll take our final break on our Red River Grain pregame show. Come back with your opening kick, brought to you by North Dakota State College of Science. You're listening to the Red River Grain pregame show and Cowboy football coming your way on B92.7 FM, and we're live streaming on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
Mindak Farmers Cooperative is proud to be serving the Red River Valley since 1974. The staff in Mindak Farmers Cooperative would like to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of the agribusiness community. From the fields to the parts stores to the factory, everyone works together to sweeten the local economy, pumping millions into the strength of our schools, communities, and businesses. Thanks to all for helping support the local farmer and our communities. Pure sugar by nature. Mindak Farmers Cooperative in Wahpeton. At Sienna Court, it's about hospitality, compassion, and people who care. But don't take my word for it. Listen to Herb, a Sienna Court resident.
I like it very much. Why not? They take care of all my needs. I'm leading a good life up there. No, they're all great. I have it. They all do everything they can for you. Special people. Downstairs, too. St. Catherine's. They even ask you things that you're doing for yourself. They can do that for you. That's the way they are. No, they're very good people. All of them.
Living the good life with hospitality, compassion, and people who care. That's what Sienna Court is all about.
Now you can plug into reliable service. Call Somerville Electric in Breckenridge. They've been serving the area since 1985 and are locally owned. For years, their promise has been and will be reliable service and dependability. The proof and the quality is there when you need fast, dependable electric service and professional electricians. Just plug in. Call Somerville Electric at 643-3435. Somerville Electric would like to wish the Breckenridge Cowgirls and Cowboys good luck in tonight's game.
Valley Bead Service and Manufacturing in Dwight will be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week during the main campaign. Count on Valley Bead Service to keep things running smooth with an extensive supply of parts on hand for all brands of harvesters and quick turnaround time for on-site repairs. Valley Bead Service and Manufacturing has a service truck and is ready to get you back to work with experience and 24-hour in-field service. Valley Bead Service and Manufacturing is the name you can trust for this year's harvest. Call Tony at 642-1181.
Good luck to the Breckenridge Cowboys playing this week from Jody and staff at Breckenridge Drug. Stop into Breckenridge Drug and shop the fall sale and save on all fall and Halloween decor. It's also the perfect time to finish decorating your home for the fall season. Save on all pumpkins, garden flags, fall florals, fall signs, and more. Breckenridge Drug is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go Cowboys from Jody and her staff at Breckenridge Drug. Take charge of your financial future with a proactive approach from Bremer Bank in Breckenridge. Did you know that Bremer offers more than just traditional banking services? We also offer investment, wealth management, and insurance services for all of your financial needs. Bremer can help you plan for your future and protect what matters most. The professionals at Bremer are ready to help you think ahead. Stop by Bremer today to learn more about our comprehensive financial solutions or call 218-643-8721.
And welcome back as we wrap up the Red River Grain pregame show, serving the local farmers since 1986. And we're getting ready for your opening kick, brought to you by North Dakota State College of Science. The science of learning by doing. North Dakota State College of Science. Lake Park-Audubon will be booting it away. Breckenridge Cowboys will be defending the north end zone.
You know, Turner, I woke up today excited for playoff football. I was listening to a little bit of Wage War and their song Welcome to the Show, which is pretty fitting. Let's get this party jumping side to side, wall to wall with some big plays tonight.
We'll have that ready for the next kickoff.
Yeah, you won't hear that one on KBMW.
Maybe the B, though. They kick this one to J.D. Gomez to start off this game. Works to the right side of the field. Going to try to cut outside. Oh, maybe a horse collar right there, but no flag. Looked like a horse collar to me, but he's tackled out of bounds. So J.D. Gomez and this Cowboy offense will take over just past their own 30. Once again, defending their north goal. And there is quite a bit of wind today. So if we're thinking that maybe we're going to see a heavy dose of the run game, the wind could be a factor in that.
Henry sled it all warming up earlier today in the crop top, so he's ready to go. Breckenridge looks to follow him tonight.
Tough guys don't get cold.
It's
just a fact. Not speaking from experience. Cowboys working out of the gun. You got one man split out to each side. Tight end and an H-back to the left. They're going to motion J.D. Gomez over for a jet sweep to start off this game on the left side. Using that shiftiness, but he's going to get wrapped up in the backfield. There's also a flag on the play. One of those rare situations they might be better off declining. Oh, and J.D. Gomez down with an injury, which could be bad news for the Cowboys. Hopefully going to get taken care of. Athletic trainer Janie Luda coming out here after one play of offense. Tough break for the Cowboys. One of their senior leaders on this squad, J.D. Gomez, down with an injury. And it looks like a leg injury, which we never like to see.
So Gomez last week, Turner, had the interception and the return, and then he also had the 30-yard touchdown catch. So this will be potentially a big issue here tonight.
Yeah, that might have been their longest TD pass of the year on that one. Running that, I think it was kind of a post route or a seam, and heck of a playmaker for this squad. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. They're going to tend to the injured player. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. You're listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the i3G Media Sports Network.
How much do you really know about insurance? You have to have it, and your family should be covered at all times in case of an accident. What coverage is the best for you? That's where independent insurance agents Tyler Kent and Brad Rivard at Red River Agency Incorporated of Breckenridge can help. They provide all your insurance needs for home, auto, farm, life, commercial, MPCI, and crop hail. It's that easy. Give Tyler Kent or Brad Rivard a call at 643-1623. Red River Agency Incorporated, always by your side.
And welcome back. J.D. Gomez was able to walk off the field, so good news for the Cowboys potentially. We'll see if he's going to be coming back into this ball game. But we got a run up the middle after that loss of 1. Paul Armitage getting that 1 yard back and then some. Going to set the Cowboys up for a 3rd and 3 after that 8-yard burst.
And I think they had a holding call on that last play that Gomez was tackled up near the line of scrimmage, and that was declined by LPA. So that could be an interesting call here. Now they have 3rd and short.
Mm-hmm. J.D. Gomez once again came out after losing a yard. So after that run, we got 3rd and 3. Actually, 3rd and
a long 2?
Yeah, you're gonna hear me. You're gonna hear a lot of contradicting information today. Paul Armitage sets Cowboys up for a 3rd and 3. 2 receivers out to the right, and they're gonna go up the middle with Armitage once again, and he's got enough for the first down. It's like a gain of about 4 on the play.
We are streaming this game live on YouTube for you traditional radio listeners over at KBMW News Live.
Better flip over there. Check out all these nice little graphics that we whipped up for this one. I was joking last week. We're trying to make it actually look like a professional stream. We'll get there. Cowboys got a 1st and 10, just shy of their own 45. Against Lake Park-Audubon, who come into this game with a 7 seed, but Breckenridge definitely not doing their best not to be overlooking anybody, as head coach Carson Yagi made sure to point out to a lot of the guys they were upset by a 6 seed last year, so something to keep in mind. Fake the handoff. Trey Vogelbacher looking down the field and was looking at the sideline at Levi Christensen, but overthrew him a bit. As we said in our State Farm stat report in the Red River Grain pregame show, Levi Christensen is actually leading the team in receiving yards at 19 yards a grab.
Might be leading the basketball team in rebounds in a couple months, but
oh boy, that's going to be exciting to see him get to suit up for the varsity squad this year. Due to transfer rules, had to sit out last year and only play on the JV squad, so you know he's going to be chomping at the bit. But he doesn't want this football season to end, that is for sure. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. 2 receivers out to the left. Tight end and wing back to the right out of the mullet set. Up the middle with Paul Armitage. He's got a lot of room to run. Makes the corner miss and picks up the first down. This O-line has been off to a hot start. They're going to give him 11 yards on that carry. So Paul Armitage.
So just
already
about
up to 23 yards on 3 carries.
2 minutes on the dot there to get into Raider territory.
They end up at the Raider 45, operating on the right hash. Lake Park-Audubon Red Raiders. The Cowboys did not see during the regular season. Played a good bulk of their section, though. And they're going to bring those receivers tight end on the left side. Wing back still on the right, Gabe Armitage. And then Levi Christensen on the right as well. We got a fumbled snap. We'll see if Vogelbacher is able to get on it, and he will not. Lake Park-Audubon with the recovery. And I want to say that was thought it was number 51, but it was actually Cale Thompson on the recovery for 81.
Look, just like the football game last night when Zay Flowers for the Ravens was coming in motion, the snap hit him. That one didn't hit Gabe Armitage, but it looked like it kind of blinded Vogelbacher, and he just had a tough time handling that snap.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of those tough situations when someone's diving at the ball and you just got your arms on it. Luckily didn't come out of that with an injury, but we're going to get a wing T set, and right away they're going to switch that into a Queens look. 2 receivers out to each side, working out of the pistol, dropping back to pass and throwing it out to the flats. Pass is complete. It's going to be a medium pickup. Gain of about 6 on the play. Hauling in that pass is Gabriel Harris. Luka Besky completing his first pass attempt of the day. We heard some good things about Besky before this game started up. Excited to see if he's as good as advertised.
You know what, Turner? They don't have any wide receivers listed on the roster. It is running back, running back, running back, running back, and you get the gist here.
We'll put you a receiver if we don't think this whole running back thing's working out, but we like your chances here. 0-0 ball game on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. 8:44 left to go in this first quarter. Besky faked the handoff on the left side. Takes it over to the Breckenridge sideline and out of bounds, but a big gain for Besky.
Looked like he was potentially looking to pass because he didn't really have that thing tucked, but nobody knew he had the football, so he just kept on running.
Yeah, he sold that beautifully. Call that a gain of 22 on the play. I believe they're on their own side of the 40, so 22-yard gain for Beskey on his first carry. Into Cowboy territory, now on the 35. First and 10 for the Red Raiders. They got trips right, one receiver to the left, and working out of the pistol. Tailback behind Beskey. Beskey drops back to pass. Under pressure, and Kai McDonald with the sack. Adding to that resume, he was already leading the team, I believe.
4.5 sacks for the junior now on the season.
My guy, Kai. Loss of 5 on the play.
Good pursuit from McDonald. Chasing the quarterback, just read dead on the back numbers of his jersey and was able to get him before he could get across the line of scrimmage.
Loss of 5 on the play, sets up 2nd and 15. Red Raiders working on the right hash of the Cowboy 40, Breckenridge. Sporting the white helmet and white pants look today. Looks nice with the green jerseys. Looks even better on the white jerseys, if you're asking me. And run up the middle. Going to get a few yards. Levi Christensen with an aggressive tackle. Trying to get back 5 of those yards. Maybe got back about 3 or 4. Oh, maybe got back about 2 of them.
I think Christensen was trying to rip the ball out there at the end, kind of allowed the ball carrier to fall forward for a yard or 2.
Yeah, with how this defense has been playing aggressively and forcing turnovers, I don't blame him trying to keep the ball carrier up and let his defense come and help. 2-yard gain on the play.
3rd and 13 here, Turner.
Red Raiders, a pair of receivers out to each side. Beskey driving back the pass. Once again under pressure. The blitzer came and pass was overthrown. Looks like Aiden Sanchez over there on the coverage. Trying to lay out for an interception, but we got 4th down. Red Raiders likely to send out the punt team. Breckenridge's defense holding strong. Cowboys looking to get the ball back after fumbling it away on their opening drive.
So you got to feel good if you're Breckenridge. You fumble the ball, and then not too long after, LPA here sitting with 4th and Foxhome from the 37-yard line.
7:10 remaining in this opening quarter on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Both teams still looking for their first points. And Red Raiders going for it, or at least they're showing they're going for it. Queen set, 2 receivers out to each side. Once again, they're going to throw it down the right sideline and out of bounds. So turnover on downs. 1 for 3. Lukabeski was on that drive. Red Raiders looking to keep their season alive and snap a 4-game losing streak. Enter this game with a 2-6 record. 7:05 remaining this opening quarter on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard as the Cowboys get the ball back.
Interesting mix there. 3 passes on the first drive of the ball game for them, and like you said, the wind is whipping out there tonight.
Are they trying to judge where it is? We're nice and cozy up in this press box. We can't really tell which way the wind's blowing, if they got the wind at their back or if they're throwing into the wind here in the first quarter, but either way, they didn't care. 1 receiver out each side. Running back and the H-back on the right side because they're lining up that QB run on the right side. Riley Kappas. Student body right. Runs for about 7 or 8 yards. I call it a gain of 6 or 7 on the play.
Got some super fans in the house tonight. Shout out to Carol Colby, the photographer, and of course, Breckenridge's native son, Carter Cava.
Oh, the best. Carter.
Sue Smith, among
Carter's
others down there.
Carter's always having a blast in these games. I love that. 6:30 remaining. 2nd and 3 for the Cowboys after that Riley Kappas rush. Paul Armitage getting the carry this time. A nice collision there, but I think forward progress, he's going to get the first down.
It was a nice tackle there. Looked like the first guy in as we try to get the number 51.
Looks like they'll give him 2 yards there. Hayden Crow.
5'11", 205. He's a senior.
I don't know if Hayden Crow, that's another new member of the Turner Bluff all-name team, along with Tate Schlotteroff. Big fan. It's probably the coolest name on their roster, if we're being honest. But 2 receivers on the left side. tight end, and the H-back to the right. Riley Kappas hands it out to Paul Armitage up the middle. Once again, he gets this one with ease into Red Raider territory, but I think they're saying there might have been a fumble, unless that's just Armitage.
That might have been Armitage going backwards at the end of the run.
Yeah, it looks like it was. It's the last one to come out of there.
Credit LPA, right? They're getting a good push at the end of these plays, pulled him down a yard short, and on that one, good effort at the end of the play.
5 yards for Paul Armitage on the rush. 30 yards on 5 carries. Off to a promising start. Haven't seen David Erlinson on the offensive side of the ball at this point.
This is where the last drive stopped in its tracks here, right at the 47.
Armitage, the lone running back. And Riley Kappas will keep it himself on the QB keeper, and going to be close to a first down. Just showing he's deadly as always. I'm glad they kept all these packages in here, but now we got another injured player after that 9-yard rush from Kappas. We'll see. By the way, J.D. Gomez still not in the game as well, walking on the sidelines.
Looks like Tegan Abel, a little bit ginger after that one. He's still down.
That'd be hopefully nothing serious. Once again, we said the same thing about J.D. Gomez's injury, but hopefully nothing serious for Tegan Abel. And as much as I've raved about the offensive line's play, which he's played a big factor in that, Tegan Abel is very fun to watch on defense. So I think that's actually where he'll be missed even more if potentially he can't come back to this game. But they're going to take a look at him. We'll take a very quick break here as they tend to this injury. You are listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the i3G Media Sports Network.
No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain never changes. Red River Grain works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers, providing grain and agronomy services to help maximize your farm's potential. Red River Grain has been serving farmers for years with competitive prices and high-quality service. Talk to Carson or Brad for your grain and agronomy needs. Red River Grain, East Breckenridge, 643-3738. That's 643-3738, or you can find them online at redrivergrain.com.
Save big this month with Smith Motors in Wapaton. Get up to $120 in rebates on the purchase and install of a set of 4 tires. Save up to $40 in rebates on the purchase and install of front and rear brake pads. Save up to $40 in rebates on the purchase and install on front and rear brake rotors. And save up to $80 in rebates on the purchase and install on GM shocks and struts. Small town friendly, big town deals. Smith Motors, your certified Chevy and GMC dealership in Wapaton. Visit them online at smithmotors.com.
Ever notice how every other ad seems to be an insurance company promising to save you money?
What is with these insurance companies?
Hi, this is Matt.
And this is Amanda.
And we're your local State Farm agents.
We're here to debunk all the insurance junk.
What do you really need to know?
What is a fair and competitive price?
Let us make sure you are getting the best bang for your insurance dollar.
And find out why State Farm has been around for over 100 years and remains #1 today.
B92.7 is KBMW Breckenridge Wapaton.
All the hits from 2KM today.
And welcome back. Tegan Abel suffered the injury there. Athletic trainer Janie Lanou tending to him, so hopefully we'll be seeing Tegan Abel back in the ballgame. Could be a huge loss for the Cowboys. Riley Kappas picking the handoff and opening up the playbook. Gabe Armitage, the intended receiver there, but the pass is broken up. Hit him in the hands, but good coverage. Took a big shot there, and Gabe Armitage was very heavily featured in the pass game last week. I know he only had the one catch, but I meant he was heavily targeted in the pass game last week, so you could see that was kind of an emphasis at this point in the season, and not too surprising that he gets an early target here in this ballgame, Robert.
Jackson Castle stepping up there from his safety spot, I believe, just over the top and just popped him at the end and knocked the ball loose. Not much Armitage could do about that.
That's fun to time that up when you're the DB, that's for sure. You get to lay a big hit there after kind of just standing back there and watching all the action. Handoff to Paul Armitage, and guy just makes it look too easy sometimes. Another first down for the senior tailback. Looks like a gain of about 9 on the play.
Again, for you folks on B92.7, we're streaming this game on KBMW News Live YouTube. A lot warmer up here than it is down there in the press box, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, we're pretty lucky up here. I'm going to start telling all the people in the crowd that it's actually really warm in here. We're sweating up here. Could you turn the heat down? Riley Kappas still in the gun. Hands it off the ball, Armitage, and try to make something out of nothing. Got hit in the backfield right away, but dragged him a little bit.
That was the Turner Bluffs all-name team again. Second time we've said his name tonight, Hayden Crow.
Oh, Hayden Crow. That's like a good name if you listen to some emo music. Hayden Crow, man. Big fan.
Yeah, well, he's rocking out tonight so far. A couple tackles for loss for number 51.
Yep, and keeping Paul Armitage bottled up there as well for the 1-yard gain. They're already making him the workhorse. 7 carries here in the opening quarter. 3:28 left in the period. Riley Kappas still at QB. Gabe Armitage gets the jet sweep handoff and takes a lick on that edge. Looked like that was number 8 for Lake Park-Audubon, Benjamin Newman. Laying the pop, all 145 pounds of that frame. Gabe Armitage with his first carry.
So J.D. Gomez, my eyes may be wrong, but I have not seen him back out there.
No, you see him walking the sideline with Tegan Abel. Lawson Oliphant walking over there, too. Hopefully his isn't injury-related. Just walking
it looks
over
like
there.
Gomez is warming up a little bit and getting a little looser.
I'll keep you guys updated on that. Twins receivers left. And another Paul Armitage carry up the middle. And, boy, was the O-line paving a lane there. Didn't get touched. He's about 6 yards downfield already. Sets up 4th and 4. Paul Armitage been getting about 4 or 5 yards before he even gets touched, so we'll see if they're going to ride the hot hand here or if they're going to open up the playbook a little bit. Maybe they love to go to Levi Christensen in these situations. If they can get him on the play action. Cooper Roberts potentially trying to use that height. Riley Kappas will hand it off to Paul Armitage. Makes a beautiful cut to the right side, using that stiff arm to get inside to the Titan Machinery red zone. Actually down inside the 10.
Wow, beautiful jump cut on that one. Left, right in a millisecond from Paul Armitage.
Needed 4 yards. Got him 13. Sets up first and 10 from the 11. Very close to first and goal.
Shout out to Titan Machinery, our red zone sponsor for tonight's game.
First trip into the Titan Machinery red zone for either team. Riley Kappas awaiting the snap. He's been QB this whole drive, and he's looking for his first TD pass of the year, and he will not get it here. Someone looking for his first TD of the year as well. Levi Christensen thought that was his moment, but incomplete pass.
Christensen looking for a hold on that one. I'm not sure if somebody had a handful of jersey. That might explain the overthrow there on the goal line.
2nd and 10 for the Riley Kappas incompletion, and they're sticking with him. You don't see a lot of teams this comfortable, kind of handing the keys to the second quarterback here in a playoff game, but
throwing them into the fire tonight.
Riley Kappas, well, this is kind of more something they kind of more so did in the beginning of the year where they're kind of trading off drives at times. Usually it's just, Riley for a series or here or there, which could still be the case, but we shall see. Riley Kappas will call his own number here. Got a great lane to run through and is going to be close to the goal line.
That was a great block there by number 71. Turner.
Yeah. Oh, the mysterious 71, Tucker Snyder, holding it down.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just needed clarification there on who that was.
Oh, I thought you were messing with me because I've been referring to him as the mysterious 71 for a while.
Nice job pushing the guy out of the way there from Schneider.
8-yard carry for Riley Kappas. He's got 3 carries so far, 7, 9, and 8 yards. So the O-line has been helping him out a decent amount. 3rd and a long 2 from the Red Raider 3. They're going to motion Gabe Armitage into the backfield and give it to him on a jet sweep. He'll cut it up, and he's in for 6. Gabe Armitage took a shot at the goal line, but still got in no problem for the 3-yard score with 40 seconds remaining in this opening quarter.
Hit at the goal line there by number 11 for the Raiders, Jackson Castile, who's been on a couple plays defensively, but just able to stay up as he crosses the goal line for a touchdown.
First points of this ball game on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Cowboys, as they've been doing since David Erlinson suffered that injury, sticking with the 2-point conversion crew. Riley Kappas motioning Gabe Armitage in the backfield, fakes the handoff to him, and can't get easier than that. Riley Kappas goes in up the middle for the 2-point conversion. We got an 8-0 ball game. Cowboys strike first as we're about to wrap up the first quarter. You are listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Titan Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic, working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy a hands-on work experience. Learn from factory-trained service experts and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a Titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Titan Machinery Wapaton, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
8-0 score on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard after that 3-yard Gabe Armitage touchdown. Riley Kappas went in for the 2-point conversion. We got an 8-0 score. And we're got an onside kick attempt, and we'll see if the Cowboys are going to be able to get on it. They got a good shot.
I don't see him celebrating, Turner.
Oh, what a bummer. It looked like it got mishandled by that first up men, so they had a good shot at it, but weren't able to get on it.
Nice kick, though. End over end onside. You want to get a little bit of bounce on that. Maybe you get it to skip up in the air at the end. It just kind of stayed on the ground.
That was a very nice onside kick. Joey Lopez trying to make the play over there. Gavin Hoffert trying to hop on it as well.
J.D. Gomez still on the sideline. He's got his helmet on, hands on his hips. Not sure if he's getting ready to go or if he's a little frustrated.
Aiden Sanchez will be spelling him at corner. And then Charlie Crenshaw taking care of the duties on the offensive side of the ball, as JD is their slot receiver. Operating out of a wing T gun look. And it looks like a gain of about 5 or 6. Benjamin Newman on the carry once again. Newman's got 2 carries for 8 yards. Sets up 2nd and 4 for the Lake Park-Audubon Red Raiders. 10 seconds left in the quarter. We'll see if they're able to get a playoff here in this playoff game. Wing T look once again. And this time they're going to go up on the left side. David Erlinson on the tackle. Got to make sure to spotlight when he's making some plays in his first game back. First real action back. Gabriel Harris on the carry on that one for about 2 yards. And we have the end of your first quarter. We'll take a quick break and come back for the second. You are listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
When Mom first started showing signs of memory loss, we were devastated. It was so frustrating, so many choices for assisted living. Then my sister and I walked into Twin Town Villa in Breckenridge. We knew that this was the perfect place for our mother. We loved the bright, beautiful apartments, and knew Mom would too. I was so impressed with the interaction between the residents and the staff. Twin Town Villa is a quality memory care community that's close to home and currently has openings. Call Twin Town Villa at 643-9542 or visit them online at twintownvilla.com.
At American Family Insurance, protecting farms and ranches is at the heart of what they do. They understand the hard work that goes into building and sustaining your business, and that's why they offer customizable policies that protect everything you've worked for. Let's build the policy your farm deserves. Contact Shannon Miller at Miller & Associates today at 218-643-3665 or stop by their office at 1329 Highway 75 North in Breckenridge. Good luck to the Breckenridge Cowboys in tonight's game from Miller & Associates American Family Insurance.
And welcome back to Cowboy Field. First play of the second quarter, and the Cowboys trying to stuff this Red Raider rushing attack on setting up a 4th and 4. They actually lost a yard on that. Couldn't tell what the ball carrier was. I don't know if you... Is that the quarterback?
It's kind of in a little bit of a pile there of Cowboys when we come back from break.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to the quarterback. Someone's got to get some rushing yards here. Even though he lost a yard on that one, so he's probably not thrilled. But 4th and 3, a big 4th and 3. Red Raiders on the Cowboy 43. Working out of the pistol set, 2 receivers to each side. And Cowboys get to the quarterback. Levi Christensen, the first man there.
The only man there at the end of that play.
Body slammed him into the backfield. We got Henry sledded off, flying in there head first. It's a party in the backfield. That's fun. Levi Christensen making the big play, taking a little bit of that frustration out after he got robbed of a touchdown on the last drive.
Really cowboyed up there, lassoed him down. Kind of disappeared again in a pile of Cowboys as everybody flew to the football, and then Levi Christensen just carried the quarterback out of the pile and slammed him.
Yep, this is I'm not saying that Levi's a violent person. But that kid is a violent tackler. Love it. 2 receivers to the left. Wing back and the tight end to the right. Paul Armitage gets the handoff and then hands it off to Gabe Armitage. There's nobody around him. And, it's almost one of those what could have been situations as it could have went a little bit more to the outside. I think Gabe's busting that one.
Yeah, laid the boom at the end of that run, but as we've said his name time and time again tonight, that was Castell making the tackle, just hanging on long enough.
Down at the 42. Gabe Armitage on that little counter that Breckenridge loves to run where they hand it off to the tailback and then swing the H-back around the other side for the counter handoff. And now this time they're going to go to the left side. And Riley Kappa is still in the game for another drive, so I'm not 100% sure what the status is with Trey Volgebacher.
Murphy Austin getting in on the action there to finish the tackle off for LPA.
5-yard gain for Riley Kappas.
And numbers-wise, Turner, you look over at the Raiders sideline and you wonder if that's the MO here, to pound the rock, tire them out. They don't have that many players.
Yeah, well,
about half the size of the Breckenridge sideline.
Yeah, that's true. We got one receiver out to each side. H-back on the left. And Riley Kappas was working out of the gun, but it looks like we got some movement beforehand, so I'll get backed up on a legal procedure.
We got to remember, Class A, not that many players in Class A, not that many teams. I think there's about 60 in the state.
You just got done doing a game at Fargo South High School, so you got to come back to reality, buddy.
Yeah, that's true. Get a little bit spoiled in the EDC.
Yeah, you're at Red River one week, and the next week you're getting to see who's coming to town to see the Cowboys. So it's a little bit of a shift, I'm sure.
I'll tell you, though, they pass the ball a little bit in North Dakota. It's stark contrast. We see a lot of ground and pound here on this side of the river.
So after that, we got 2nd and 11. After that, procedure penalty. Riley Kappas motions Gabe Armitage in the backfield, fakes the handoff to him, goes to Paul on the right side. Paul Armitage doing a good job holding on to the ball. Paul Armitage with a gain of about 6 on the play. Probably a gain of 5. That was Riley Kappas playing number 1 for the Cowboys. 5-yard gain.
2 straight series for Riley Kappas.
Sets up 3rd and 6, or 3rd and 7. After the medium run from Paul Armitage. Kappas will hand it off to Paul Armitage, and oh boy, just threw down one defender, and then exploded through for the first down. Paul Armitage, heck of a second effort on that play.
Armitage been hitting the weight room. That was Lucas Hogrud, 6'1", 305. Paul Armitage says, "Get off me."
Did you already get to hear the story about Paul breaking a dude's helmet a couple weeks ago?
I did not, but I believe it now after seeing that.
Unreal. I think, unfortunately, he's limping a little bit, so hopefully that ends up not being anything too serious. Once again, we're saying that a lot today.
Hey, you'd be limping too if you got hit in the backfield by 305.
Well, Paul Armitage wasn't getting a whole lot of touches in the Wadena game. I'm sure you remember he only had 2 carries the whole game, and he got taken out on offense, and on the ensuing defensive possession, I'm pretty sure it was, he broke a guy's helmet. So, big the handoff. Riley Kappas looking down the field and finds Charlie Crenshaw for the big gain. Riley Kappas throws the strike to Crenshaw and into the Titan Machinery red zone.
And he was hit when he released that football, so very impressive from the young Riley Kappas at QB.
17-yard gain. First pass completion of the day for the Cowboys.
It looked like a dangerous play, Turner. He got hit on both sides by the LPA defense, but threw a strike.
17 yards for Crenshaw. Might be his first catch of the season. Not a bad time to do it in the playoff opener as Lawson Oliphant gets his first carry of the night and is taken down in a hurry in the backfield. Loss of 1 for Lawson Oliphant.
Loss of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 11.
So very slow, methodical game. As we said earlier, those injuries kind of threw off the flow of the football game, and both teams trying to settle in here. LPA trying to make a big stand here. They don't want to go down 2 scores against the Cowboys.
Cowboys will take a timeout. This timeout brought to you by Heitkamp Construction. Cowboys currently lead Lake Park-Audubon 8-0 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. You're listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
Wapaton Deli and Eatery is running a special all this week. Buy 2 meal cards at $50 each and receive the 3rd meal card free. That's an average of $6 per meal with a drink. Meal cards expire May 2nd, 2025. Wapaton Deli and Eatery, serving up top quality foods with low prices and fast service. Remember, buy 2 meal cards at $50 each, receive the 3rd meal card for free. That includes your drink. This week only at Wapaton Deli and Eatery. That's Wapaton Deli and Eatery under the big black canopy on Dakota Avenue in Wapaton.
And welcome back to Cowboy Field. Breckenridge Cowboys with an 8-0 lead. Currently facing 2nd and 11 in the tight machinery red zone on the 14-yard line.
Everybody bunched up on the line here, Turner.
You're going to fake the handoff to Gabe Armitage. Riley Kappas took a shot at the legs, but looks like he's able to get about 4 or 5 of those yards. Sets up 3rd and, call it 8. After that 3-yard rush.
11 yards to go here. We see Paul Armitage trotting back out there, and this is where he's so effective, getting him to the outside. Maybe a pitch play, maybe a little counter. That jump cut of his, get him to the outside, let him outrun the defense.
And David Erlinson was just on the field getting a little run at offense, so that's another encouraging sign for the Cowboys here in their playoff opener. More importantly, they got 11 yards to go to hit pay dirt. 7 yards for a first down. Paul Armitage, see if he tries to get all of that. Throws one defender down, and he's going to get close to the goal line. It looks like he stopped short. Was able to move the chains, though.
And he did try the outside. They started that run up the gut, and he bounced it out to the right and just wrangled down before he can hit pay dirt.
10-yard gain.
Down to the 3-yard line.
Or 8-yard gain. Sets up 1st and goal from the 3. Cowboys have feasted in these situations this year. We'll see if that is going to be the case once again. Paul Armitage out of the game. First and goal from the 3. Kappas waiting the snap, rolls out to the left. He's got pressure. He throws to the end zone for Levi Christensen's first touchdown of the year. They knew they wanted to get him one today. 3-yard score. That was a nice throw. Under pressure.
How many sidearm touchdown throws have you seen during your career, Turner? It's not very often.
Hopefully I'm going to see a lot more. We still got a couple more years to enjoy Riley Kappas at quarterback. And I'm not 100% sure if, if it's one of those situations where Trey Vogelbacher might have had a little bit of an injury, or if it's one of those things where they're saying, let's have Riley take it this week. I'm assuming that Vogelbacher must have got banged up earlier in the game. We'll see if we see him on defense, but Kappas going to call his own number once again for his second 2-point conversion of the day, and he didn't get touched on that one either. We got a 16-0 Cowboy lead on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Breckenridge going in from 3 yards out. Riley Kappas to Levi Christensen. You are listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM, watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
Big John's Car Pro, your undercar specialist at 209 4th Street South in Wapaton, offers free estimates on the repair or replacement of exhaust systems for cars, RVs, and trucks. Big John's also offers complete radiator repair, tires and alignments, specializing in catalytic converters, shocks and struts, and complete brake service from professionals with years of experience. Call 642-5194 to set up your appointment. Big John's Car Pro in Wapaton.
6:03 left to play in this opening half on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Riley Kappas and Levi Christensen connected for the 3-yard TD. Riley Kappas went in for the 2-point conversion. We got a 16-0 game. Sorry to cut you off there, Bert.
No, I was just going to say, it's one thing to see Patrick Mahomes or somebody throw a sidearm touchdown pass, but to see a sophomore do it and Riley Kappas there, felt some pressure, elected not to go overhand, didn't want that thing to get knocked down, and he was able to thread the needle.
Riley Kappas has really kind of made his name on varsity as a running quarterback, so another encouraging thing to see for the Cowboys' progression. And we'll shout out some guys heading out there for some defense. Trey Vogelbacher is playing defense, so hopefully he's all healthy and good to go. But
maybe they do like seeing what Riley Kappas has in the passing game. He's looked pretty good tonight.
Yeah, so I almost kind of backed myself into a corner there, listeners. If you couldn't tell, I'm trying to find a nicer way to say it. Maybe they're kind of thinking, let's have Riley take the reins. I think he'll be okay this week. Not overlooking any opponents, but it is a big emphasis for this team to stay healthy, so that is a potential factor. I'm not going to make jump to any conclusions here, but that is one thing I was kind of bouncing around in my head as we got a pass attempt here, completed for a minimal gain. Gabriel Harris hauling that one in, but along with Trey Vogelbacher on defense, we're also getting to see David Erlinson once again getting some run here, and then Jackson Herrig getting some tick at nose guard.
Cooper Roberts making a nice tackle there to stop that pass after a 1-yard gain.
Both of the pass completions for Lake Park-Audubon so far have gone to Gabriel Harris, so they'd like to get him involved any way they can. 2nd and 9 is what the Red Raiders are looking at when they come back. Head up to the line, rocking the all-white unis, the black helmets. Drop back to pass. They throw it over to the left sideline, out of bounds.
Right on cue, Trey Vogelbacher in coverage there, making an impact on defense, airtight.
Luka Besky so far in this game, 2 for 5 through the air for 7 yards. Breckenridge got Levi Christensen back into it, as is Eli Butts, trying to keep the D-line fresh. Henry Sledall doesn't need breaks, though. I'm convinced that guy would stay out there for the whole game if he wanted to.
Man, he has been a monster this year, and talk about, most improved player, taking a leap, it's got to be him.
3rd and 9. Heck of a wrestler, too, so it's not too surprising when you see him just tossing dudes around. 2 receivers out each side for Lake Park-Audubon. Levi Christensen applying the pressure. Flushing the quarterback out to the left and tosses it out of bounds. Eli Butts in the backfield as well. Paul Armitage trying to come help out. The last last series for LPA ended with a sack, and now this one's going to end with a punt.
So 4th and 9, they start at their own 35. They only get to the 36, and Breckenridge is going to get the football back.
Returning will be Riley Kappas. It's been Riley Kappas' night.
Levi Christensen on that last play, Turner. Man, he came in with a mission in the backfield and almost got his 2nd sack of the game.
Oh, did you see him tee off on that running back?
Man.
Good job picking up that rusher by that running back, but I didn't envy him in that situation. That is for sure. That's not a fun situation to be in. You got to take on a guy running in like a flight train. And we got a fake punt, and it is incomplete. And Lake Park-Audubon being aggressive with the play calling. I mean, they got their quarterback playing punter, so not the craziest idea we've ever seen. Luka Besky with the incomplete pass, though. Incomplete turnover on downs for the 3rd time this game.
Looking for 6'2" Brody Hansen over the middle there, and he had him just off his fingertips. And you know how hard that is to catch a football when it's ice cold out there.
Yeah, once again, we're not really experiencing how cold it is in here, so I can't really attest to how bad it is out there. I'm assuming it's not great, but
the one sport I played was not at this time of the year, so I would have no idea what it's like to be out there in the trenches.
There are probably some spring baseball games that felt like this, I'm sure. They're going to motion Charlie Craychaw over to the left side. Trey Vogelbacher back in the game, fakes the handoff, throws it down the field to Cooper Roberts, but pass is incomplete. And on the coverage, turn around so I can see your number, buddy. Well, the pass was broken up. Cooper Roberts once again the intended receiver, and
looks like number 11 again, maybe.
Got a holding call. That'll back up Breckenridge.
I would say the guy with 2 black sleeves, but they're all pretty bundled up out there for LPA. I believe that was number 11.
All right, number 11.
Jackson Castell.
Yep. Been hollering his name quite a bit today. He's going to be making a good case for defensive player of the game.
And not such a bad game so far from the defense, all things considered, coming in here as a 7 seed, but they really need to stop.
2 receivers out to the left, tight end and the H-back to the right. Lawson Oliphant, the tailback. Trey Vogelbacher hands it off to Lawson, and he's got a big hole to run through. He's going to get all those yards back and then some. This is why the kid's averaging about 19 yards a carry. Big run for Lawson Oliphant.
No flags.
Oh, yeah, that's always, you always got to check after that. I'm sure that's the first thing he did after he got up.
Good enough gain for a Cowboys first down.
Lawson Oliphant down at the 14. Call that a gain of 23 on the play for Oliphant.
Yeah, really nice run for Oliphant. Big hole as well, though. Let's give some credit to the O-line on that one. As we zoom in on the KBMW News Live YouTube, far hash for the Cowboys.
13 yards to pay dirt here in the tight machinery red zone, and Trey Vogelbacher fakes the handoff, goes on the left side. Now cuts it up once again and down inside the 5. So he's going to be right at the first down, I believe. Looks like he got the first. And just a smidge more. Needed 10, got 10 and a half.
For those of you just tuning into the broadcast, there's 4:20 to go in the first half. Cowboys lead LPA 16-0 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard.
Cowboys got 3 yards to go. Their first 2 touchdowns have come from 3 yards out, so we'll see if they can go 3 for 3 when they need 3. Number 3 playing quarterback while we're at it. Trey Vogelbacher dropping back to pass. Throws it over to the left side. Cooper Roberts for the jump ball, TD. Cooper Roberts been in a little bit of a touchdown drought, so they're very happy to get him back into the end zone.
That one had some zip on it, Turner, so credit to Vogelbacher for getting it out in a hurry, but those hands, very impressive on that. Nice tight spiral from Trey after sitting the last 2 drives. Coming out there, getting the job done. That's senior leadership from Trey Vogelbacher.
We got 3 catches so far in this ballgame. 2 of them have come in the end zone. So that red zone passing game. And for the first time in about 4 or 5 weeks, we're seeing the extra point team. David Erlinson doing the honors to boot it through for the extra point. We got a 23-0 ball game here with 3:56 left to play in this opening half on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. You are listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live or YouTube channel, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
Good luck to the Breckenridge Cowboys playing this week from Jody and staff at Breckenridge Drug. Stop into Breckenridge Drug and shop the fall sale and save on all fall and Halloween decor. It's also the perfect time to finish decorating your home for the fall season. Save on all pumpkins, garden flags, fall florals, fall signs, and more. Breckenridge Drug is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go Cowboys from Jody and her staff at Breckenridge Drug.
And welcome back to Cowboy Field. Jackson Riggs getting ready to boot it away. Cooper Roberts had been handling the kickoff duties, so Jackson Riggs will give it a go. 23-0 Cowboy lead. For those who are just joining, Breckenridge has scored from 3 yards out on all 3 of their touchdowns. Gabe Armitage went in for a short yardage score, and then Riley Kappas and Levi Christensen connected for a TD. Trey Vogelbacher and Cooper Roberts did the same shortly after. And Breckenridge dropped this one perfectly. They got a good shot at recovering that. We'll see if they were able to get there. I think they were the first one on that. I just don't know if they were able to squeeze it. Aiden Sanchez getting in there, but wasn't there in time. So Lake Park-Audubon taking over at their own 32 with 3:54 remaining. Your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard.
Yeah, that one not even designed to be an onside. It, rolled to the second line, but it took a backwards bounce, kind of like when you're golfing on a par 3 and you want to stick that thing and get some backspin. That's what happens.
It's finding the sweet spot. You got to find the sweet spot and where the guys are, and there's an art form to it, and that was about as good as you could have drawn that up. That's why it's frustrating when you can't come up with a recovery. But we got a fake jet sweep, and they're going to go up the middle with Besky. David Erlinson there, Henry Sleddahl as well. David Erlinson was hyped after that one.
Yeah, keeping him off the field for quite a few of the offensive snaps, keeping him fresh. And, if they're not going to use his speed, they're definitely going to use his power here on the defensive side.
Besky heading over to the sideline to grab the play from head coach P.J. Peterson after the 2-yard rush.
LPA is going to have to go 66 yards in just over 3 minutes if they want to break this shutout here, trailing 23-0 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard.
Lake Park-Audubon does get the ball to start the second half. Breckenridge would love to force a turnover here. They haven't yet. A few turnover on downs, but they haven't gotten an interception or a fumble recovery yet. Levi Christensen once again bringing the pressure. David Erlinson trying to do the same, and a nice little pass completion up the right sideline. Right in front of the Breckenridge bench. That was hauled in by number 44, Brady Hansen.
We'll see what the flag is here. It's thrown over in the area of holding. We'll see if it does indeed go
Brody
against the
Hansen.
Raiders.
Learning how to read today.
You and me both, Turner.
And we'll see what the call on the field is. Referees. It appears to be on Lake Park-Audubon. Back them up even more. It's up. Second and about 20.
So just when they think they get something going, up the sideline, nice completion just outside of the reach of Lawson Oliphant. It gets pulled back.
Cowboys with a comfortable 23-0 lead at this point. 2-7 matchup to start off the Section 6A tournament. Winner of this game will move on to play Saturday.
More than likely against Parker's Prairie.
Breckenridge. They're facing trips left, one receiver to the right, and they're going to throw it out to the left side. Once again, looking for Gabriel Harris. Incomplete. Lake Park-Audubon struggling to get anything going. So far, their longest play, they do have a 120-yard run from their quarterback, but other than that, they haven't really got anything going. Third and 17 with 2:19 remaining here in the opening half on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard.
And cranking our necks here to see the scoreboard, doing our best to get you the time and yardage here, folks.
Got to climb out the window to check the score every now and then. I don't mind.
Get you a harness next game.
As long as I don't fall out of here, I think we'll be all right. Almost dropped the tripod out of here 1 week, so we're improving. Two receivers out to the left, one to the right. Besky dropping back to pass. Looking to set up a screen, and it goes through the hands of the receiver. Troy Nerdahl had it go through his hands. I'll bring up the punt. Unless we get another fake. You never know.
Yeah, it's very possible, and you can really tell they're having trouble reading this Breckenridge defense there. They just go to set up a screen behind the line of scrimmage, running out of options here.
Yeah, well, it's one thing when, you're trying to get down the field and you can't do it because everybody's bringing the pressure and the quarterback's not able to get anything going because of the constant pressure. And so then it's like, well, let's try to get these quick zips out of here, set up screens and stuff like that, but they got answers for that too. So bad news for the Raiders at this point. 4th and 17, and that almost blocked. There is a flag on the field that came out before the attempted block. Jackson Riggs, one of the defenders, getting back there. Little gingerly getting off the field. They haven't dealt with enough injuries today. All those injuries right away to start off the game just has me just assuming every single person is hurt whenever they get up after a play.
When it's cold out there, like we said, it's not cold up here. It's probably not cold at home when you're watching on KBMW News Live YouTube either. But a good game if you're a Cowboys football fan. 23-0, nearing the 2-minute mark here of the first half on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard.
Breckenridge has had a dominant run since they've moved down to Section 6A and have only fell short of the Section Championship one time since they've move down to to the single A class.
Seems like once they were able to get that OTC monkey off their back, and beat them a couple times, it's been pretty smooth sailing. And with Carson Yagi at the helm here, starting off 0-2 last year and then getting his first win, or was it 0-3 last year?
I think it was 0-3 again, kind of like this year.
Getting his first win, yep. And I think we're going to see quite a few more Yagi wins here over the years.
It's exciting. This is kind of a fun time in the program history. Still the first decade in single A, so it's gonna be really fun down the road. Looking back at how far they come. So, and this one is a short punt. It's gonna be down. Oh, got a nice little bounce there at the end though. So Breckenridge will take over on their own 44.
So they'll mark it right at about midfield. Looks like it was touched by LPA. And, of course, they had to punt there because they got whistled for the holding. And both of those punts almost blocked by Breckenridge. So almost a second straight week. We looked at the footage. It looked like the player last week might have punted it backwards, but we'll give Keaton credit.
Punt.
Credit for the fingertip block for Keaton Butts last week. And who was that on the return touchdown?
That was not Joey Lopez. It was actually Jackson Lopez, who was able to recover that last one for the touchdown last week. Riley Kappas picking the handoff and throws it to Cooper Roberts for a nice completion. So Riley was able to complete that for about 6 or 7 yards. Call that a gain of 7 on the play. 2nd and 3. Second catch of the day for Cooper Roberts.
Minute and a half and running here on the clock.
And Cowboys try going back to the run game now.
Oliphant stacked up at the line of scrimmage, keeps his legs going. They can't take him down. They're going to blow that one dead, however, and we are going to have a timeout here with $1:15 to go in the first half. Cowboys rolling 23-0 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard.
1:15 left to go here in the opening half. You're listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live.
Take charge of your financial future with a proactive approach from Bremer Bank in Breckenridge. Did you know that Bremer offers more than just traditional banking services? We also offer investment, wealth management, and insurance services for all of your financial needs. Bremer can help you plan for your future and protect what matters most. The professionals at Bremer are ready to help you think ahead. Stop by Bremer today to learn more about our comprehensive financial solutions or call 218-643-8721.
Mindak Farmers Cooperative is proud to be serving the Red River Valley since 1974. The staff in Mindak Farmers Cooperative would like to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of the agribusiness community. From the fields to the parts stores to the factory, everyone works together to sweeten the local economy, pumping millions into the strength of our schools, communities, and businesses. Thanks to all for helping support the local farmer and our communities. Pure sugar by nature. Mindak Farmers Cooperative in Wahpeton.
And welcome back to Cowboy Field. Breckenridge Cowboys. Riley Kappas faking the handoff. That was just a broken play from the get-go. Kappas ended up losing about 6 or 7.
So that'll bring up 4th down for Breckenridge.
I'm not sure what happened on that play. So Breckenridge likely going to ride the clock down and
is it kind of interesting that they're not going to call a timeout here and try to get the ball back, or do you think maybe they don't want to turn this 23-point deficit into 30?
I think they're just going to kind of just take it into halftime and regroup from there. They do get the ball to start off the second half, but like you said, if you are being a little aggressive, if you got a play in the back of your playbook, you got a lot of confidence in it. It's like, well, we could score, maybe we could bust out a big play here, but yeah, just how the game has gone so far, and I don't think they like their odds, so. But then, like you said, it's playoffs, last game of the year, so Cowboys will take a timeout. We'll take a very quick break. This timeout brought to you by Highcamp Construction. You are listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
At Sienna Court, it's about hospitality, compassion, and people who care. But don't take my word for it. Listen to Herb, a Sienna Court resident.
I like it very much. Why not? They take care of all my needs. I'm leading a good life up there. No, they're all great. I have it. They all do everything they can for you. Special people. Downstairs, too. St. Catherine's. They even ask you things that you're doing for yourself. They can do that for you. That's the way they are. No, they're very good people. All of them.
Living the good life with hospitality, compassion, and people who care. That's what Sienna Court is all about.
Now you can plug into reliable service. Call Somerville Electric in Breckenridge. They've been serving the area since 1985 and are locally owned. For years, their promise has been and will be reliable service and dependability. The proof of the quality is there when you need fast, dependable electric service and professional electricians. Just plug in. Call Somerville Electric at 643-3435. Somerville Electric would like to wish the Breckenridge Cowgirls and Cowboys good luck in tonight's game.
And welcome back to Cowboy Field. Cooper Roberts awaiting the punt. Snapped cleanly, booted away cleanly. Oh, that's a heck of a punt. Over to the right sideline. Trying to cut it up or left sideline, trying to cut it up the sideline. And none doing, so Lake Park-Audubon will have 11 seconds left.
Nice little return there.
Yeah. Well, they'll take the bright spots we can get here. Lake Park-Audubon hopefuls. Cowboys, once again, kind of an odd rhythm to to this opening half. Breckenridge has been taking care of business when they've been getting down to the red zone.
It's been an odd day, too. A little bit of rain, a lot of wind, and thought it was going to be about 50 degrees with nominal wind, and it's been nasty out there today, and the game's kind of shaping up to be unpredictable, too.
And that punt actually broke their streak of scoring drives. And it looks like that's going to be the last play that's going to be the last play of the half. Breckenridge will take a 23-0 lead into the locker room. We'll take a quick break, come back with your Minn Kota Ag Products halftime show, your #1 grain marketing and production agriculture supply company. You're listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM, watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
Valley Bead Service and Manufacturing in Dwight will be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week during the main campaign. Count on Valley Bead Service to keep things running smooth with an extensive supply of parts on hand for all brands of harvesters and quick turnaround time for on-site repairs. Valley Bead Service and Manufacturing has a service truck and is ready to get you back to work with experience and 24-hour in-field service. Valley Bead Service and Manufacturing is the name you can trust for this year's harvest. Call Tony at 642-1181.
My name is Christy Baumhart. I am proud to be a part of the school district with dedicated staff, including administration, teachers, paraprofessionals, cooks, and custodians who are kind, caring, compassionate, and committed to the students in our district. They support, respect, and help one another succeed. One thing I am really excited about is the technology available to our students as it enhances their learning experience in the classroom. Not only as an employee, but also as a parent, I know the benefits of having both my children in the Breckenridge School District. Breckenridge Pride. We inspire to excel.
Breckenridge Schools, Breckenridge Pride, inspiring to excel.
Frederick Seed Incorporated in Fox Home would like to wish the Breckenridge Cowboys good luck in tonight's game. They'd also like to recognize the Breckenridge cheerleading squad, Ellen Paige Hershey, Sophia Johnson, Athena Levy, and Annabelle and Aubrey Martinez. Frederick Seed Incorporated says keep up the great work to the Breckenridge Cowboys football team and the cheerleading squad.
Folding a fitted sheet, programming the thermostat, matching your socks. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your home doesn't have to be one of them. So you can get back to more important things, like finding that missing sock. That's simple human sense.
That's Carlson Family Insurance in Wapaton, representing auto owners insurance. Visit Carlson Family Insurance Agency in Wapaton today. Call 672-6002 or on the web at www.cfiagency.com.
Your daughter has the flu. Your son breaks his arm. You need quality medical care you can count on. CHI St. Francis Primary Care Walk-In Clinic. Quality family care. Go to the Primary Care Walk-In Clinic at CHI St. Francis, where there is no appointment necessary. Hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 7:30, and 9 to 5 on the weekend. Quality care close to home. You get the finest care for home injuries, common illnesses, and emergency service. Virtual visit available. Call 643-0747. We treat you like family. You're one of our own.
What can you do in 30 seconds? Warm up your coffee, tie your shoes, Google, should I get screened for lung cancer? Then actually get screened for lung cancer. If you're a current or former smoker, talk with an Essentia Health provider about your eligibility for a low-dose CT screening, because early-stage lung cancer often has no signs or symptoms. Screening can mean an increased chance of successful treatment. Learn more at essentiahealth.org.
Farmers Union Oil of Southern Valley.
Hi, this is Wade from Breckenridge Cenex. Now is a great time to start thinking about protecting your recreational vehicles and equipment. Stock up on Splash RV Antifreeze at any one of our 4 locations, and we would like to thank you for your continued patronage.
Farmers Union Oil. Farmers Union Oil of Southern Valley.
B92.7 is KBMW Breckenridge Wahpeton.
All the hits from 2KM today.
Welcome to the Minn Kota Ag Products Halftime Show, your #1 grain marketing and production agriculture supply company. Turnable office along with Robert Wanek, and we got to see a lot of good football here in the first half, but once again, kind of an odd first half, but we can run through some of the numbers and some of the scoring as well. You want to take us through how we got to the scoring so far, Robert? If you can read my handwriting, that
yeah, I'm going to work through the chicken scratch pad here, and we'll get rolling.
I write like a second grader with issues. So,
first quarter, it was Gabe Armitage, 3 yards out. He scored on a touchdown run, bounced it to the left side, took some contact at the goal line actually, and punched it in for the touchdown. Riley Kappas converted the 2. That one was also on the ground. That made it 8-0. In the second quarter, so that was it in the first quarter. 8-0, slow moving, a couple of injuries, unfortunately. We'll get to that again later. Second quarter, 6:03 remaining. It was Riley Kappas with a 3-yard touchdown pass. So Breckenridge scoring from the 3-yard line their first 2 times. That one was to Levi Christensen, the tight end, leading receiver this year in both receptions and yards. That made it 16-0. And then it was a Trey Vogelbacher to Cooper Roberts connection. I'd say it's safe to say he's been his favorite target this year. That was with 3:56 to go in the half. That was another 3-yard touchdown. So you see the theme here, passing twice from the 3-yard line. So the Cowboys being multifaceted, and that's where we are. Extra point by David Erlinson makes it 23-0.
Yeah, happy to see Dave get the kicking shoe back out here and able to, put that through the uprights. So let's run through the stats. Once again, we got our State Farm stat report brought to you by the State Farm agents in town, and Amanda and Matt Frederick. Let's run through the passing first. 1 for 3 through the air for Trey Vogelbacher. That 3-yard completion was a touchdown. And then Riley Kappas was 3 for 5 for 27 yards in the first half. Ended up being the leading passer in the first half. Didn't expect that for today, but we'll put it on. We'll mark it on the bingo card regardless. And then throwing for Lake Park-Audubon, we got number 2 Luka Besky, who is currently on the day, 2 for 8 for 7 yards. Besky also their leading rusher. We'll take you through the rushing numbers as he has 4 carries for 18 yards, 2 carries for 8 yards for his teammate Benjamin Newman, 1 carry for 2 yards for Gabriel Harris, and that'll do it for their rushing numbers. But Breckenridge's rushing numbers, they are led by Paul Armitage, 12 carries for 80 yards, a very busy first half for the workhorse senior. J.D. Gomez had the 1 carry for -1 yard and ended up getting hurt on the play, so hopefully he's going to be back in the game or back on Saturday's game if they're still rolling. But Riley Kappas, 6 carries, 26 yards, and a touchdown. Gabe Armitage, pair of 2-point conversions, I should say. He threw a touchdown pass. Gabe Armitage, 3 carries for 14 yards and a touchdown. Lawson Alphin had 2 carries for 22 yards. Trey Vogelbacher, 1 carry for 10 yards. I think we got everybody for the rushing numbers. And then catching the ball, leading the way is Charlie Craychaw is leading the way in receiving yards. 1 catch for 17 yards. Cooper Roberts caught a pair of balls for 10 yards. And then Levi Christensen, 1 catch for 3 yards and a touchdown. His first touchdown on the year, so we're happy to. I think we did like the reverse jinx. We were talking. That's the first time I've acknowledged on one of my broadcasts that Levi still didn't have a touchdown on the year, and naturally gets one in the first half. So that worked out. Reverse jinx. Try it every now and then on your Wapton broadcasts when you get back to covering them, Robert.
I'm not sure if it's going to work for me just because it works for you, but I guess I'll give it a go on Friday. They've got Grand Forks Central this week on Friday. We'll also have that one on the AM and streaming live on KBMW News Live.
Regular season finale. It's gonna be a blast. And Wapton's been having a very fine football season too. Very much makes me miss the Wap-Breck game. I always say that every time I think about that. But let's get back to this football game here. 23-0 Breckenridge leads Lake Park-Audubon. And one thing we talked about were the keys to the game, brought to you by Smith Motors and Wapton, small-town friendly, big-town deals. And the big thing we were talking about was that we wanted them to really dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. And I think the offenses look just impressive today. Paul Armitage has got a lot of these carries. You look at kind of his carry sheet: 8 carries, 8 yards, 4 yards, 11 yards, 9 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards. He's not getting touched till he's at the second level. I think he's done an outstanding job because of that offensive line. What do you see from their offensive line unit today?
Yeah, just absolutely opening the highway up, especially on Lawson Oliphant's carry. He took that thing to the right side, and he didn't get touched for about 40 yards. And kudos to the running backs for being able to read it, but I'm pretty sure you could have ran that one for at least a first down, Turner.
And then you got Riley Kappas on these QB keepers for these two-point conversions. He's not even getting touched on them. You could literally drive a car through these. Like, it's crazy. So I think the offensive line's been doing a good job. Defensive line, I think they've been doing a good job too. It's kind of been a little harder for them to kind of flex their muscles a little bit, but I mean, the defense is performing well. Usually that's because you're setting the tone up front. So I think the D-line's been doing maybe not just as good of a job, but a very good job as well. So they just got to keep winning up front, and I think that's going to turn into another productive second half. And we'll take a quick break here on the Minn Kota Ag Products Halftime Show, your number one grain marketing and production agriculture supply company. You're listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM, watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the i3G Media Sports Network.
Big jobs, small jobs, and everything in between. Heitkamp Construction has served commercial and industrial clients in the Southern Valley and beyond since 1982. They are your fully licensed construction company, providing earthwork, paving, structural steel, and more. Need a new concrete parking lot or roofing? How about a new metal building for your farm or business? Call Heitkamp Construction in Wapton today at 642-5948 for superior construction service you can trust. Call 642-5948. Buying a new home is an exciting experience, but it can be a stressful one too. Miller Realty can help relieve some of that stress with a simple formula of integrity, trust, and most importantly, experience. Their talented team is made up of Guy, Shelly, Jared, Lisa, Melissa, and Stephanie. They've put in the years helping people buy and sell their homes, and they understand this market. Miller Realty is a trusted legacy business in the Twin Towns. Put their knowledge and experience to work for you. Miller Realty in Breckenridge, a lasting tradition of experience, knowledge, integrity, and trust. Find them online at GuyMillerRealty.com.
Minn Kota Ag Products proudly supports the communities we serve by sponsoring the broadcast of this high school sporting event. When a team takes the field, there is nothing like experience you can count on to produce a winning season. Minn Kota has that experienced team, supported by the latest technology, products, equipment, and information to deliver a winning game plan for your farm. Contact our locations in Breckenridge, Barney, Kent, Wyndmere, Wapton, and Colfax. Let our team lead you to a successful farming season.
North Dakota State College of Science is powered by the strong local connections we have with employers, business partners, program advisors, and local business leaders. We're proud to call Wahpeton home. Find out more about how you or your business can support NDSCS by visiting ndscs.edu. That's ndscs.edu.
Getting you back to what you love. We are Optimum Rehab. For over a decade, Dr. Tony Eggeman has provided physical therapy services for the people of Wahpeton, Breckenridge, and surrounding communities. We're a small practice that sees our patients as individuals. Through hands-on techniques, our patients have their treatment plans tailored to their exact needs. Sprains, sore muscles, back pain, achy joints, rehab following surgery, you name it. Optimum Rehab is your answer. When you need exceptional physical therapy, you need Optimum Rehab.
You want what you want. At Quality Toyota, we totally understand that we aren't going to talk you into a car you don't want. Instead, we're here to help you find the car, the color, the options, and the style that you do want. All with a simple, easy, and stress-free approach, because the price listed online or in every windshield is the only price. That way, we can concentrate on getting you the right car. Quality Toyota, West Lincoln Avenue in Fergus Falls. QualityToyota.net. Let's go places.
And welcome back to the Minn Kota Ag Products Halftime Show, your number one grain marketing and production agriculture supply company. By the way, before I forget, wanted to shout out Trey Vogelbacher's grandpa, Sid, who is turning the big 7-0 today. Hopefully he's here watching Trey throw that nice TD pass over to Cooper Yagi. Like you said, that did have some, Cooper Roberts, good Lord.
Both pretty good football players.
Man, why'd you have to put Cooper Yagi in the sports report today? You knew that was going to, like, inception, and I was going to accidentally say his name during the broadcast. Shout out to Cooper Yagi. Keep tearing it up at St. John's. We love seeing it.
Number 3 in the country, the Johnnies.
Yeah, and he scored another. Oh wait, was he number 1 or number 3? I was gonna say he's number 3 too. This just keeps popping up everywhere. It's my favorite number today, evidently. But Cooper, keep doing your thing, man. We love you. And let's talk about some of the things we're hoping to see from the Cowboys this second half. I'm gonna start off with hopefully no injuries. I guess that's kind of a double negative. I don't want to see any injuries today, but if they can come out of this ball game 100%, going into Saturday's game, if they can hold on and win this one, that's going to be huge. Let's think about the guys who we've seen go down. J.D. Gomez on the first offensive play of the game went down with an injury. We've seen Paul Armitage limp a little bit. David Erlinson still been limited. Tegan Abel suffered the injury. We'll see if he's not out there warming up.
I don't see JD out there
looks like
either.
He's done for the day. J.D. Gomez is done for the day. We got a little nervous about Trey there for a bit, but he's been playing, thankfully. So we just, if there's one thing that I'm going to say they got to take away is hopefully no more injuries the rest of the ball game. But nothing you can do about injuries. Something they can control, though, I guess, would just be coming out and just keeping the foot on the gas. I find myself saying this every week, it feels like. But the last 2 weeks, Breckenridge has had big cushions here in the second half. Now Lawson Oliphant might also be getting worked on a little bit here, so hopefully not too severe of an injury.
And I'm actually surprised we see Tegan Abel walking down here. Don't mistake this for a medical assessment, but I mean he's walking very gingerly. He's walking on his own. A big limp on the sideline. He definitely looks like he's out for the ball game.
Yeah, that's too bad. Big playmaker on both sides of the ball for the Cowboys, especially on defense. I've been raving about him on defense the last few weeks. Especially when he had that reverse that he blew up last week to set the tone for the ball game, and Walker, that was a blast.
First play of the game.
Yeah, and we were talking about a 2.5 hour, whatever it is on the bus, 3-hour bus ride might have them coming out a little slow, but he came out and he was ready to rock. I think he read that about as beautifully as you could for a linebacker. As a former linebacker, I had a big grin on my face when I saw that. I was like, oh, I would love to get set up for one of those. If I still had any competitive nature left in me. Here I am just taking in a nice ball game here on our Minn Kota Ag Products Halftime Show. Breckenridge up 23-0 on Lake Park-Audubon. Cowboys obviously came into this one the favorites as the 2 seed over the 7 seed. We'll see if they can hold on to this lead now here in the second half. We'll take our final break on the Minn Kota Ag Products Halftime Show. You're listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM, watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the i3G Media Sports Network.
How much do you really know about insurance? You have to have it, and your family should be covered at all times in case of an accident. What coverage is the best for you? That's where independent insurance agents Tyler Kent and Brad Rivard at Red River Agency Incorporated of Breckenridge can help. They provide all your insurance needs for home, auto, farm, life, commercial, MPCI, and crop hail. It's that easy. Give Tyler Kent or Brad Rivard a call at 643-1623. Red River Agency Incorporated, always by your side.
No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain never changes. Red River Grain works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers, providing grain and agronomy services to help maximize your farm's potential. Red River Grain has been serving farmers for years with competitive prices and high-quality service. Talk to Carson or Brad for your grain and agronomy needs. Red River Grain, East Breckenridge, 643-3738. That's 643-3738, or you can find them online at redrivergrain.com.
And that'll do it for the Minn Kota Ag Products Halftime Show. We are back at Cowboy Field. Getting ready for your North Dakota State College of Science kickoff. North Dakota State College of Science, the science of learning by doing.
Wildcat football team in action, a unique Sunday game, semifinals chance to play for the
I don't know
state
why
championship.
I don't even know why they float like they're going to have that game on Saturday, because they move it every year. Because for those who don't know, they can't get officials because the high school games are all taken up on Saturday. So they're always looking for a referee crew and always end up having to move the game to Sunday. And I'm like, why don't we just put it Sunday on the schedule? We move it every year anyways. But yeah, like you said, a Sunday game. They got M State coming to town, right?
Border battle with Fergus Falls.
Oh, it's going to be a blast. This kickoff once again brought to you by North Dakota State College of Science, and it is a nice one from Jackson Riggs. Lake Park-Audubon.
A couple flags come flying in at the end of the return.
Well, the thing about kickoffs, you can usually say about 90% of those are usually on the kick return team. It's only so much chaos you can cause as a kickoff guy.
So the Breckenridge defense is going to come back out here again for the second half, and starters, they're going to be in, of course, for the first couple series, maybe even the whole third quarter. We'll see what happens, but I'd like to see Levi Christensen hit home again. Man, those poor blockers are really getting a face full of him tonight.
Yeah, but and the other thing, if we do want to see some of these guys get some rest, we got to get the points. As much as the defense is going to be big for holding them here, but the defense is pitching a shutout now, so they've been kind of dialed in already. But the thing that I think was something they would have liked to have done a little better last week was the offense kind of coming out and just kind of picking up more where they left off from the first half. I think they've done a good job at that this year, but I think here in the playoffs they're going to really want that when they get the ball back. But, let's see how the defense does first. Got a nice little toss to the right side. David Erlinson making the tackle. Cowboys saying they got the ball. And they did. David Erlinson forced it. I didn't see who recovered it, though.
That was recovered by number 4, Cooper Roberts.
Cooper Roberts adding to the resume. He's already got a tutty on the day. May as well get the fumble recovery as well, and I got David Erlinson forcing that. First turnover forced by the Cowboy defense after last week. They were looking like the Legion of Boom Seahawks for a bit there. They were forcing turnovers like crazy last week. So
yeah, what do we have them down for in the State Farm stat report before the game? 19 on the season?
19 on the year, so that just put them up to 20 through 9 games. Not too bad. And by the way, I forgot to mention when we did our State Farm stat report that Kai McDonald and Levi Christensen each had a sack in the opening half. Now we'll see the Cowboy offense with Trey Vogelbacher rolling out to the right. Looking down the field and tossing the pass to, looks like he was looking for Gabe Armitage there.
20 turnovers on the season brings me back to the days of Sam Herder, the snub for defensive back, right?
He was. He should have been defensive back of the year. We were telling everybody that he was going to win it because he led the conference in interceptions. Then they gave it to a linebacker. It's outrageous.
Sam, of course, the resident FCS expert now. You can find him on X.
Yeah, the guy is Mr. FCS, man. I love the job he's doing out there. It's so fun to watch. One running back to each side of Trey Vogelbacher. Hands it off to Paul Armitage. And Armitage laying the boom there. He is just always a running back that's falling forward. That is for sure. Into the Titan Machinery red zone. Your local Case IH dealer in Wahpeton.
Trying to give you guys a nice, good, wide view on the KBMW News Live YouTube because we want you to see what this offensive line is doing, and it's poetry in motion.
Oh, they've been dominant. You don't usually mix poetry and offensive linemen, but I love that. Someone's got to be doing that.
Well, they're all going to frying pan after, I guarantee that.
13-yard gain for Lawson Oliphant. Cowboys come up to the line. They got David Erlinson and Paul Armitage in the backfield.
Cooper Roberts all alone up top.
Vogelbacher calls zone number. Trying to score on his Grandpa Sid's birthday, and he's going to go in for the touchdown from 8 yards out. The senior captain delivering for his squad. Makes it a 29-0 ball game here in the third quarter. 10:46 left to play. So a very quick drive. Breckenridge capitalizing on that fumble. And David Erlinson trying to boot his second extra point of the day. And that is a rocket through the uprights. to make it a 30-0 ball game. Trey Vogelbacher threw a touchdown pass earlier in the day, said, let's take this one in myself from 8 yards out for the touchdown. You're listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM, watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
Save big this month with Smith Motors in Wapaton. Get up to $120 in rebates on the purchase and install of a set of 4 tires. Save up to $40 in rebates on the purchase and install of front and rear brake pads. Save up to $40 in rebates on the purchase and install on front and rear brake rotors. And save up to $80 in rebates on the purchase and install on GM shocks and struts. Small town friendly, big town deals. Smith Motors, your certified Chevy and GMC dealership in Wapaton. Visit them online at smithmotors.com.
And welcome back to Cowboy Field. Jackson Riggs getting ready to boot this one away. The biggest kicker you'll find, maybe. Cooper Roberts might be the tallest. This one is actually misfielded, but then the other returner was able to get a handle on it. Gabe Armitage, the first one there.
It's like in
Connor Ernst helping out.
It's like in volleyball when you can't get to it and you just kind of stick your foot out. That one went right off the return man to his partner to his right.
That's like a very generous bounce, that's for sure. And I loved how the returner just got it in such a casual motion, like he's done this before. Like, oh,
I don't know if that's a good thing.
There goes my buddy. My buddy didn't scoop it up again. That's all right. Well, did you see how seamless it was? He just grabbed it and didn't miss a beat. That was impressive. If you saw me like doing it back in my old days, you'd have seen me like look at the ball for a second, like kind of stop. I'd be like, oh, what? How'd I end up with this bad boy?
Finding a little silver lining for the Raiders here as they trail by 30 points early in the third quarter.
Looking for their first points of the game, and I've only racked up a couple first downs at this point. Trying to do something about that with a counter on the right side to number 8, Benjamin Newman. Someone we've seen featured in this rushing attack. 10:28 remaining in this third quarter on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard.
We talk about Trey Vogelbacher scoring that touchdown there. Talk about a senior ceding a couple drives to the sophomore quarterback Kappas and coming in and realizing, hey, we're not in competition with each other. We're both doing well. I'm going to get out there when my number's called, and both QBs for Breckenridge looking great tonight.
I think they've just been spoiled with these two quarterbacks. You know, a lot of teams kind of look at running out two quarterbacks like it's a bad thing, but they definitely look at it as a positive. You're giving the defense different things to kind of prepare for. And they're both a lot more versatile than they show. So, you know, the playbook doesn't really change a whole lot. And we got another play blown up in the backfield.
Looks like Paul Armitage, maybe?
Yeah, Riley Kappas helping out. Riley Kappas was all over the place last week, saying his name nonstop, as Gabe Armitage will spell Trey Vogelbacher. Lake Park-Audubon with a 3rd and 8. On 30-0 here in the third quarter. Cowboys took a 23-0 lead in the halftime. Beskey drops back to pass, looks right. Jackson Riggs applying some pressure, and pass is completed across the middle for a first down. And on the coverage, Cooper Roberts, Aiden Sanchez over there.
Beskey finds Brody Hansen over the middle, and he just scooped that one right off the top of the grass.
His
nice
second
catch.
grab of the day. That one goes for 11 yards. Cowboys. Oh, wait, no, he had his other catch waved off. So, first catch of the day, I guess. Forgot about that penalty. 2 receivers each side. Pistol set, running back right behind the quarterback. And they're going to go up the middle. And a nice gain there. Gabe Armitage also getting on the tackle. Ooh, one of my biggest number pet peeves for football. I always hate when I see a tailback with a number in the 80s. Cale Thompson. Messing up my aesthetic today with a 9-yard carry.
Thompson also had that fumble recovery early in the ball game.
So number 81.
Nice night for the senior.
They got him. They got him in the backfield again, or is this? It's hard to see with the numbers on the side. Looks like he is in the backfield. Beskey going to keep it this time. Looking for someone to throw to, and that is broken up. Cooper Roberts getting a hand on that one. That one-handed grab we saw him make earlier this year, I'm sure his teammates are saying, come on, why did you reel that one in? You got a hand on it. That's all you need.
Yeah, that was crazy out at Staples Motley, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
You've been the highwayman this year, as Willie Nelson would say.
Oh, that wasn't too bad a road trip. I was geeked about going to Walker. Everybody was teasing me that I was excited to drive 2.5 hours to go watch the game, and I was like, this field is gorgeous. This is always the one that I circle on the calendar, hoping it's on the road. If you guys haven't been to Walker's Field, you got to see it at least once. It's beautiful. 3rd and 1. They're going to go up the middle with Beskey with a QB keeper. And looks like they're going to be able to get the first down.
We should have done like a vlog of you and your road trips, just getting your thoughts all set to the theme music of On the Road Again by Willie Nelson.
Oh, that would have been unstoppable. Beskey moving the chains.
Don't forget the Comrex like I did on the long trip to Wasabi Range.
You know, I didn't even feel bad when you told me that because I was like, yeah, we've all forgotten a very essential piece of equipment while driving many hours away, so I'm not sweating. You gotta do it, because then once you do it, you'll never do it again.
Well, I don't know about that, but that's the
trust
hope.
me, I haven't done it again. I don't know how, but I mean, my career is still young. I've only been in the game for a few years, so I'll probably forget the Comrex next week now. Watch that. Well, if Breckenridge is still playing on Saturday, luckily they'll be at home, so I can just scoot over to the station really quick here. Beskey fakes the handoff, throws it out to the right, goes through the hands of the intended receiver. Once again, Brody Hansen.
So something to note here, LPA is on the Breckenridge side of the field. That has been hard to come by tonight for the Raiders. They are at the Cowboys 40, 2nd and 10. They haven't got much closer than this.
No, and I think this is about as far as they did get on that 20-yard Beskey keeper, but then they turned it over shortly after on downs.
I think Beskey surprised himself on that keeper when he rolled out, and he was like, wow, I have some space. And after a quick talk with Coach Carson Yagi and the staff, that wasn't going to happen again.
Yeah, they've done a really good job on him because the scouting report was all they'll kind of go as far as Beskey will take him, so they've been really keying in on him heavily. And like I said, only one really big play that's kind of hurt Breckenridge, but didn't lead to points. So faking the handoff, rolling out to the left, Kai McDonald in pursuit and was able to throw it away. Over by the sideline, it was caught. That was number 10 for Lake Park-Audubon, Troy Nerdahl, making his first grab of the day for 7 yards. And talk about being able to zip that pass at the last second while under pressure.
You know, just about at the line of scrimmage, and the way that rule works is as long as you have part of your body behind the line of scrimmage, and good awareness there by the quarterback Beskey to dump that one off. Drew all the attention.
I actually just found out that's how the rule worked, like just in this last week, because I was watching a game, I was like, there's no way that this quarterback just thought that. And then when they went back and showed it, his back leg was crazy far back, so his whole body was way beyond the line to throw. But like you said, even if you got one little toe back there, you're good. If you got a Kevin Durant toe back there, Beskey hands it off up the middle, and a big gain here. It could be a touchdown. One man to beat, and Aiden Sanchez makes the stop. But a 28-yard gain by Benjamin Newman, bouncing off tacklers.
As Marshawn Lynch would say, that had a little bit of beast mode to it. Hit him with the hip and stayed, put his hand in the ground and stayed on his feet for about 10 extra yards.
Down inside the 10, so we've entered the Titan Machinery Red Zone, your local Case IH dealer in Wapaton. 6 yards to go.
I believe that was Benjamin Newman, Turner.
Yep.
5'9", 145, so he's using all of his frame there to lay the boom.
27-yard carry. Beskey throws it out to the right side, and it looks like Lake Park-Audubon's going to get their first points of the day. Hauling that in was number 81, Cale Thompson, on the out route, and taking it in for 6.
2 catches for Thompson on the drive, none better than that one, able to outrun the defense inside the red zone.
Lake Park-Audubon not going away with a 6-yard score.
You know, if you're a broadcaster, Turner, it makes you happy because you think the starters are probably going to stay out there.
Yeah, selfishly. Even though I was preaching about the injuries and whatnot. Newman zipping it over for the 2-point conversion. It is caught. So Lake Park-Audubon fights back with 8 points. Breckenridge up 30-8 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard with 6:26 left in the third quarter. You're listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM, watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
Ever notice how every other ad seems to be an insurance company promising to save you money?
What is with these insurance companies?
Hi, this is Matt.
And this is Amanda.
And we're your local State Farm agents.
We're here to debunk all the insurance junk.
What do you really need to know?
What is a fair and competitive price?
Let us make sure you are getting the best bang for your insurance dollar.
And find out why State Farm has been around for over 100 years and remains number one today.
And welcome back. Section 6A playoffs. Breckenridge Cowboys with a 30-8 lead. Lake Park-Audubon just got on the board with a 6-yard touchdown. Luka Besky tossed that one to Benjamin Newman my apologies, I keep getting these numbers mixed up. Cale Thompson for the 6-yard score. And then Newman tossed the 2-point conversion to number 22, Murphy Ostin, to get us this 30-8 score. Once again, in the third quarter, 6:26 left to play in this third quarter. Lake Park-Audubon putting it away. First time we've seen the kickoff team since the opening kick. They're going to go with an onside. And Lake Park-Audubon got to it first, but weren't able to scoop it up and actually smacked it out of bounds.
Nice drive, that last drive by Luka Besky, the quarterback, making things happen outside of the pocket because he has been under relentless pursuit here by the Cowboys defense, and they just haven't been able to get to him in the third quarter, and that's why he's been able to operate. Like you said, they've really been putting him under the clamps tonight.
Cowboys will start this drive. They're going to talk it over first. The officials are figuring out where this is going to get spotted at.
You know, if it goes out of bounds and they kicked it, I didn't see them throw a flag, but I wouldn't think it would matter if they touched it first. I think it's going to be a penalty.
There we go. Don't know if they're going to have him re-kick or they're talking it over. I always love these parts when we're just stuck here in limbo. Actually, a classmate of mine, Carter Hout, one of my favorite people on this planet, he said the favorite part of your broadcast, Turner, is when you have no idea what's going on. And you're just scrounging for answers. It's must-hear radio, of course. So, must-see TV if you're checking out this video stream on KBMW News Live, our YouTube channel. Shout out to all of our listeners, all of our viewers, and obviously all of our sponsors as well. We got a lot of sponsors who stepped up and hopped on for this postseason run so we could make these video streams happen, and very much appreciate them. Into the ball game is Riley Kappas, who hands it off to, looks like, I want to say that was Armitage. Had to make sure to double check the number.
That should put him over 100 yards tonight,
yeah.
Paul Armitage.
Looks like he got 24 on that play, so yep, 104 yards on the day now.
And we do apologize, folks. We did turn the crowd mic down earlier. Had a real excited fan here, and just a reminder that if you're 21 plus, you can crack a cold one and watch us at home on KBMW News Live YouTube. No harm, no foul, though.
Yeah. Gotta love the environment of a football game. Up the middle with Lawson Oliphant. Oliphant just always slicing through the defense. Another big gain.
Man, we missed his pick six earlier this year. He was out of the camera frame.
Yep.
And then a couple other ones got called back. I think he's going to play his way into plays of the week.
Oh, it runs like a deer. Gosh, it's fun to see. See where they down him at. 20-yard gain, second 20-yard rush of the day for Lawson Oliphant.
Came into this one averaging about 13 yards a carry.
Yeah, that breakaway speed, though. That was awesome. We'll see if they go back to him again here. Riley Kappas in the backfield with him. Kappas waiting the snap. He's going to roll out to the right. Kappas calls his own number and is going to take it in for 6. Riley Kappas with the 10-yard rush. Little spin move for good measure at the goal line.
You're looking at the future Cowboy football right there.
Let's try to get this lead back up to 30, is what Riley Kappas said. Rolled out the pass. Apologies. About to knock the camera out the window really quick here. Riley Kappas goes in from 10 yards out once again. David Erlinson trying to make it 3 extra points in a row. And will not this time around. I'm not sure what happened there.
That was a laser beam into the defense, maybe into the offensive line, actually.
Someone's going home with a bruise, but we got a 36-8 score on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Breckenridge in the lead in the Section 6A tournament. 5:24 left to play in the third. You are listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM, watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the i3G Media Sports Network.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Titan Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic, working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy a hands-on work experience. Learn from factory-trained service experts and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a Titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Titan Machinery Wapaton, your local Case IH dealer. Visit TitanMachinery.com/careers to learn more.
And welcome back to Cowboy Field. Come back and they jump right into it with a timeout. That's just great timing here. But we'll stay here for it and run through how Breckenridge got to this lead, run through the scoring once again for you folks. If you're just joining in, Breckenridge took a 23-0 lead into halftime. Gabe Armitage got a touchdown in the first quarter. Riley Kappas found Levi Christensen for a touchdown in the second. Trey Vogelbacher found Cooper Roberts for a touchdown also in the second. And then a pair of QB rushes for Breckenridge here in the second half. Trey Vogelbacher scored from 8 yards out, and Riley Kappas scored from 10 yards out. You just got to see that Riley Kappas touchdown, and Breckenridge is rolling. That extra point was no good, though, to make it 36-8.
David Erlinson looking like he could be a pretty darn good soccer player on that one. That was a line drive. But earlier in the game, 2 for 2 tonight or 1 for 1? You got to remind me for his PATs.
2 for 3 tonight.
2 for 3.
Yep. He. The funny thing is, the coaching staff was kind of upset with the officials at the beginning of the year because they wouldn't give him really proper time to go get it on his kicking shoe. So he'd literally run in for a touchdown, would be tired from running in a touchdown, and then would have to sprint to the sideline to go get his kicking shoe, and they wouldn't give him any more time. He'd have to run there and just kick it right away, as this one is kicked out of bounds. And I don't really know how that works, if you're supposed to give extra time for equipment or anything like that, but it does seem kind of unfair when it's someone who was just on the field. You know what I mean?
You'd think they'd pump it up a little bit.
If it's a kicker you just have laying in the weeds ready to kick it away, then don't give him extra time to get the kicking shoe on. But someone who literally just went in for a touchdown, I don't know.
We're talking Class A schools here. I don't think kickers are a dime a dozen.
Yeah,
of course, we had Goose, though, a couple years ago.
Legend. Hopefully Goose is doing well. If anybody stays in touch with Goose, tell him we miss him.
We'll have to ask the Butts family how he's doing. Of course, his foreign exchange family here.
Yep. I remember I brought him
Gusten Bergqvist Eriksson, and I probably absolutely butchered that.
Gusten Bergqvist Eriksson.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Eriksson, you got to get that at the end there, but he was a treasure. Motion a man over, and quarterback's going to keep it himself after faking the handoff. I remember I brought Goose in for an interview, and he brought the Butts with him, and I said, blink twice if you feel safe there. He just stared at me. Oh, he's a funny kid. That was probably my favorite interview I've done as far as just high school kids coming through. I mean, they're all fun, but that Goose one was elite. That was a favorite for me.
Yeah, the last 40-yard field goal that has been kicked here by a Breckenridge or Wapton player.
Unreal. I remember Butsy told me he would have kicked from 50 one time. Because there was the one that went wide left or wide right or something, but it clearly would have had it by plenty. Unreal. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Pistol set. Fullback in the backfield as well. They're going to go with a handoff up the middle to Newman. And Cooper Roberts, one of the Cowboy defenders, slowing that down.
Roberts doing his job on the outside tonight, containing and then getting in there on those tackles near the sideline, not letting the ball carrier get back to the middle of the field.
He's got just a dream, frame for putting over there on the edge for an outside linebacker or defensive end. You just see him and you just know, with Breckenridge's tradition, they're always putting a guy like that at defensive end. Remember they got mad they had to move our buddy Ryan Reddick to free safety because DN wasn't exactly his cup of tea. So swing pass out to the flats. Oh, a nice juke move. That was number 7, Gabriel, gotta get the last name on here. Gabriel Harris.
Tackle made by Charlie Krejcia.
Great job. A nice grab in the first half.
I thought they didn't let Reddick play there because he wouldn't take his custom Oakley visor off. I guess I had some bad intel on that.
That thing was clean. No. Unfortunately, you couldn't wear that in high school. Freddie had a very strict no visor policy unless you got a note from a doctor, which none of us did.
I guess it's better than the Yankees' no facial hair policy.
Oh, that is ridiculous. All right. We wouldn't survive, man.
No.
3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Besky looking for a receiver across the middle. Goes through the hands and into the hands of Aiden Sanchez. Sanchez trying to take this one up the left sideline. And a nice return to the almost the 20-yard line. Went off of the hands of Hansen and right into the hands of Aiden Sanchez in coverage. Stepping in for J.D. Gomez. Was injured at the beginning of this ball game, so the Cowboys' depth showing their worth.
Second week in a row that a high pass has went off the receiver's hands and into the Cowboys' hands. Last week it was Riley Kappas.
Yep.
That one he wasn't able to return. Aiden Sanchez able to turn on the Jets after catching that one, flipped the field.
Oh my gosh, we've had a lot of big turnovers called back now that I think of it, because I was trying to think if Riley had a big return waved off. Then I remember that was Paul's pick 6. It got
70 yards, I believe.
Unreal. I'd be so mad if I got a pick 6 called back. I mean, any touchdown I'd be probably mad if I got called back. But a pick 6, oh, those are once in a lifetime. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. You're going to go up the middle with Lawson Oliphant. He's able to get back to the line.
Vogelbacher in at quarterback here. We got 2:51 to go in the third quarter. Breckenridge 36, LPA 8 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard.
Lawson Oliphant so far sitting at 5 carries for 56 yards, so 11 yards a pop. That'll help out that yards per carry. I'm not sure if it'll help his out. I think his is already so high, but
another kid who's a junior here, so Breckenridge.
His junior class is very good.
Taking a look into the window of what they got going next year. Trying to stay in the present here, though, in the first-round game, but it is exciting.
I did an interview with David Erlinson when he was a freshman, and he was talking about his grade, and he said, I just want a class filled with guys who are excited about football and are just super stoked to get out there and play football, and it looks like that's coming to fruition. So we got a timeout taken by head coach Carson Yagi. We'll take a timeout with him. Your score, Breckenridge 36, Lake Park-Audubon 8. You are listening to Section 6A Football on B92.7 FM, watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
When Mom first started showing signs of memory loss, we were devastated. It was so frustrating, so many choices for assisted living. Then my sister and I walked into Twin Town Villa in Breckenridge. We knew that this was the perfect place for our mother. We loved the bright, beautiful apartments, and knew Mom would too. I was so impressed with the interaction between the residents and the staff. Twin Town Villa is a quality memory care community that's close to home and currently has openings. Call Twin Town Villa at 643-9542 or visit them online at twintownvilla.com.
At American Family Insurance, protecting farms and ranches is at the heart of what they do. They understand the hard work that goes into building and sustaining your business, and that's why they offer customizable policies that protect everything you've worked for. Let's build the policy your farm deserves. Contact Shannon Miller at Miller & Associates today at 218-643-3665 or stop by their office at 1329 Highway 75 North in Breckenridge. Good luck to the Breckenridge Cowboys in tonight's game from Miller & Associates American Family Insurance.
All right, welcome back to Cowboy Field. That timeout was brought to you by Highcamp Construction. Breckenridge up with 2:07 left in the third quarter, 36-8 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Trey Vogelbacher fakes the handoff, looking for the end zone, and Charlie Crenshaw was in the back of the end zone, but wasn't able to haul it in.
Talk about effort, Turner.
That was a good ball from Vogelbacher, looking for the end zone, kind of a similar play that they had got J.D. Gomez for a touchdown on last week. Crenshaw just couldn't hang on to her.
Krejci kind of laying out at the end for that one, and credit Vogelbacher for putting it in a window that only his wide receiver could get to. Just kind of tough here in the dark of the night at Cowboy Field. We've talked about it before. In Wahpeton, too, it's a black hole at night.
Yeah, that it is. Oh, definitely no. Oh, it's definitely the lights do a little better of a job here than over in Wahpeton. That is.
Well, they're on here, so that's a start.
Those are a nightmare. 2 receivers out of the right, 1 to the left. H-back to the right. They're going to go up the middle with Lawson Oliphant. Hurdles a couple blockers and has a few Red Raiders waiting for him when he comes down. Maybe got a yard on that one.
And there's the Raiders MVP tonight, Cale Thompson. not fooled by the hurdle, and he makes a stop. He's been good tonight.
Yep. So it's a 4th and call it a long 7. On your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard.
Gonna move the camera here so you don't got to duck under it.
I've hit my head on the camera more times today than I have in my entire life. As we've entered the Titan Machinery Red Zone, your local Case IH dealer in Wapaton. Breckenridge has a 4th and 8, 19 yards away from the end zone. They need 8 to keep this drive alive. Oliphant, the tailback. They're going to motion Krejcha in. Fake the handoff. Vogelbacher tosses over to the right side, but into the ground. Was looking for Gabe Armitage, but wasn't meant to be. Drive will end with a turnover on downs. Here comes the Cowboy defense.
Minute 4 here to go in the third quarter, and a real slow-moving game. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark here. 36-8, Breckenridge putting it on tonight versus Lake Park-Audubon.
Cowboys have gotten 2 touchdowns here in the second half, though. I was about to say if it was one of those situations where you're kind of just like trading points, and you're not really building the lead. That can be frustrating when you're trying to put the game away and move on to the next one. But you know what? They've put 2 TDs on the board. Would have been nice if they could have got a third one there, but night is still kind of young. Minute 4 left in the third quarter. Breckenridge with a 36-8 lead in the Section 6A playoff opener. Another nice hole there to run there for Newman. Unless that was Harris.
Looks like number 7.
Yep, Gabe Harris.
We got a good crowd here tonight, Turner. It's kind of filling out, especially with how cold it is. A couple state champs seated in front of the press box. We got Riley Timian and Caden Hockert of Post 20 Folklore.
There you go.
Enjoying the game tonight.
Speaking of the crowd, I will I'm gonna take a little survey here. What do you think about not being able to set up behind the opposite sidelines bench? And remember when everyone used to gather over there? Like, what do you think of that? I kind of miss that.
I miss it too, but
it's nice that they brought the home team over here, so we kind of still get a little bit of that, but I don't think it's as personable as Gabe Armitage breaks up a pass over by the sideline.
No doubt, and I love a good heckler. So, just for entertainment purposes, and that kind of takes that away. It's probably better for sportsmanship, as the MSHSL would, as the high school league would say.
Well, I just remember like my dad and like a lot of the other parents would go set up over there, and you can make a big play, and all of a sudden they're just all the way there cheering with you too. They're like right there, like pretty much like part of the sideline. It was like a little mosh pit going on.
Yeah, there you go, getting your motivation over there.
It was a blast. And then the hand up the middle. And for those who don't remember, a little trip in Breckenridge Cowboy football history. At one point, they were basically one of the only teams in the state that were not playing right in front of their home fans. They were on the opposite sideline. Funny enough, I had a teammate say, I think we're the only team in the state that did it. And I said, you remember we were doing that at Staples, so clearly they do it too. But then the pandemic happened, and obviously there weren't many people allowed to be at the games at times. So they said, let's get closer to our fans, and enjoy what we can. And we got through it, didn't we? And now we got through that third quarter. Diving into the fourth quarter, Breckenridge up 36-8 as we continue this Section 6A opener. You're listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
Are you tired of impersonal service and surprise fees from your bank? Time to change that, and fast. Just open your new checking account at Bell Bank, in person or online. It's America's best checking, and we'll work with you to make your switch as smooth as possible. Get started at bell.bank/easy. Already a happy Bell customer? Tell a friend. Once they switch, you'll both get $50. Bell Bank, member FDIC. Bonus will be deposited within 5 business days after qualifications are met. $50 minimum deposit to open.
Big John's Car Pro, your undercar specialist at 209 4th Street South in Wapaton, offers free estimates on the repair or replacement of exhaust systems for cars, RVs, and trucks. Big John's also offers complete radiator repair, tires and alignments, specializing in catalytic converters, shocks and struts, and complete brake service from professionals with years of experience. Call 642-5194 to set up your appointment. Big John's Car Pro in Wapaton.
And welcome back to Cowboy Field. Lake Park-Audubon trying to catch the Breckenridge defense sleeping with a draw play. Getting a nice chunk here as we start off the fourth quarter. For those who are just joining, Breckenridge has a 36-8 lead against Lake Park-Audubon.
as I continue to kind of take this broadcast off the rails, I just got to go back to what you were saying before the start of the quarter here. We actually used to play tackle football on the premises here when I was growing up. That would never happen in 2024.
Oh, yeah. I look over at those trees every now and then. They've done a good job of cleaning all those up so nobody can get decked into those anymore. Or at least you can't disappear into the trees, I should say, as Lake Park-Audubon runs for a nice chunk and a first down.
That was when kids used to play outside, though. Different times.
Hey, I get to. I live in town now. You know, I grew up on a farm, so I didn't really just get to have like pop-up people in the neighborhood all the time. My daughter got to play outside with a lot of friends this summer. So, but yeah, it's definitely different. My kid's also an iPad kid, so I tell all my friends who are teachers, and they're like, "You shouldn't be doing that." I was like, "Well, it's not a lot." A little before bed here. 36-8. Breckenridge is up with 10:55 left to play here in the ball game. Lake Park-Audubon trying to set something up in the flats. And a nice broken tackle there. And a nice chunk gain for Cale Thompson. He's got the only touchdown on the day for Lake Park-Audubon.
Fumble recovery and a touchdown and a couple first down plays for him tonight.
Oh, easy pick for player of the game on their side of the ball, that's for sure. It's the Breckenridge one we might struggle with a little bit here. Because the other game that you play with trying to pick player of the game is trying to get someone different every week. Oh, football, it's a little easier. Basketball, you run out after 6 or 7 games, it seems like. But football, it's and then you got to remember which ones you already gave it out to. I think I already got Riley one game, so that might rule him out, but we'll see. Another draw play. And this Breckenridge defense, they still got quite a few starters out there. Not all of them are starters, but it's kind of the usual suspects for the most part. I'm seeing Connor Ernst getting some work on the defensive line. He's part of the rotation at times. They're giving Tucker Snyder some run at linebacker.
Number 71 at linebacker.
Yeah. Love that.
So we go under 10 minutes here in the ballgame.
I got a lot of number complaints, if you haven't noticed. If you're single digit, you can pretty much play anywhere. And then I have a lot of concerns after that. As this one is thrown down the left sideline, and, that's going to be a face guarding. Or not.
It looked like there might have been a little bit of contact there, but then again, it did look like the DB was in a good position.
Well, you gotta throw the flag when you throw the arms up. If you don't turn your head back, though, that's face guarding. But
absolutely, it hit. I believe was that Lawson Oliphant?
I'm not sure. I know that Trey was on the
coverage.
coverage.
I thought it was Trey on the coverage, and it hit him in the back of the helmet, so he definitely didn't get his head turned around.
Yeah. My whole thing was just throwing your arms up beforehand. Like, that's almost always drawing a flag. Because I remember that's how we thought. I had a friend of mine who coached me up on how to be a DB, and Mr. Erlinson said, "That's face guarding, Turner. What are you doing?" I was like, "Blake said this is what I was supposed to do." Handoff up the middle, and a big gain. It looks like he's going for touchdown number 2. That is Cale Thompson out of the backfield. 46 yards. Thompson. Shot out of a gun. 9:13 left to play here in the fourth quarter.
Exciting run there, Turner. I was really impressed by the fact that he got hit. First contact, and he was still able to find that second gear and outrun the Cowboys' defense. Big night for that young man.
Playing like a man possessed, and currently a senior on this squad. 6'1", 190 is what he's listed at. And usually a tight end, which makes that 81 make a little more sense. They're going to go up the middle this time with the fullback. Let's see if they were able to get in for the 2. And it looks like they are stopped short. So we got a 36-14 ball game. 9:13 left to play on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Breckenridge Cowboys trying to move on to the Section 6A semis. You are listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM. Watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
Good luck to the Breckenridge Cowboys playing this week from Jody and staff at Breckenridge Drug. Stop into Breckenridge Drug and shop the fall sale and save on all fall and Halloween decor. It's also the perfect time to finish decorating your home for the fall season. Save on all pumpkins, garden flags, fall florals, fall signs, and more. Breckenridge Drug is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go Cowboys from Jody and her staff at Breckenridge Drug.
And welcome back to Cowboy Field. Breckenridge Cowboys with a 36-14 lead. I have now hit the tripod 3 times with my head.
Turner going 12 rounds with the tripod tonight on KBMW News Live.
That's okay. I know how to deal with concussions on Cowboy Field. I'll figure it out. Lake Park-Audubon getting ready to likely kick an onside kick. They sent the hands team out. Hands team features guys like Aiden Sanchez, Charlie Craychaw, Riley Kappas, Cooper Roberts on the front line, Tucker Snyder.
Number 71.
Yeah, what did 71 do to earn a spot there? But, this is going to be, looks like Lake Park-Audubon is going to recover it. And it got touched after the 10 yards, too.
And we got one official waving his arms up and down. And that sure looked like it went 10 yards, and the Cowboys touched it first. So let's see what happens.
I think it went 10 yards regardless. I'm not sure who touched it first. But, yep, Lake Park-Audubon. Man, I can't remember the last time I've seen a team actually recover an onside kick. It's obviously a little more common in high school, but.
And that one, they didn't try to get the ball to bounce up in the air. They just kicked it straight and slow, and they kind of followed it up to the 50-yard line.
They look like a flock of geese coming at that thing. I was like, oh, no. 2 receivers out each side. Lake Park-Audubon trying to cut into this 22-point lead. We'll go up the middle. Breckenridge's defense saying, let's get back to doing what we've been doing after last drive. Lake Park-Audubon's put together 2 scoring drives now, so Breckenridge is going to try to shut this down and hold on to this lead, close it out.
Eli Butts on the tackle there. First time we've said his name tonight. And if they don't need to use him and he doesn't need to be getting wear and tear in there in the first round of the playoffs, that's fine too. Eli Butts will have plenty of time to get in on the action as the Section 6A playoffs progress. Been a little banged up this year.
Yeah, that he has. Who hasn't been on this team? It's unfortunate as we see Tegan Abel on the bench here, suffered an injury earlier. J.D. Gomez as well, throwing out to the flats. We'll see if this one's a backwards pass. No. Completed and then tackled in the backfield. Loss of 7 on the play. And it looks like, I thought the defense was walking over for a timeout, but they're just walking over to get the coverage.
8 minutes to go, and those hand warmers got to be running out down there.
On the D-line, and, we've been talking about the depth in some of these groups, and Jackson Herrig and Jackson Riggs on your backups on your D-line, that's not too shabby. Those guys start on a lot of other Cowboy squads. Speaking of Jackson Riggs, coming in the backfield to put some pressure on Beskey. The pass is completed for a gain of probably 7 on the play. That'll set up 4th and 10.
Beskey coming alive a little bit in the second half. Too little, too late, most likely, but hey, you got to like the fight he's putting up. Beskey, the junior quarterback, 6'2", 165.
Sets up 4th and 10 for Beskey and the Raider offense. And I was telling Robert during the commercial break, this is my appetizer for the night because the T-Wolves got their season opener tonight, baby. 9 o'clock. So let's get this wrapped up, guys. Not trying to wish time away or anything, but Lake Park-Audubon drops back to pass. And just like every other pass play, they are under pressure. And Riley Kappas with the sideline grab. We'll see if they give it to him. And they do. Riley Kappas with the pick. 3rd turnover forced by this Cowboy defense tonight.
And that was all set up by number 51 of the Cowboys defense. That was Kai McDonald, your season sack leader, 4.5. He chased Beskey from side to side, and he had about 6 inches from his own sideline. He just threw that one into no man's land, and Riley Kappas tracked it all the way.
Guy's got a motor, that's for sure. He's always in the backfield causing chaos. And Riley Kappas showing the ball skills over there by the sideline. Little Justin Jefferson impersonation there with the toes. Oh, love it.
It was nice.
Riley Kappas with the pick. Two receivers out to the right. Tight end and H-back to the left. We're going to go with a handoff up the middle with, I believe that's Lawson Oliphant. And short gain on the play. for Oliphant. Give him about 4 yards, 5 yards. Lawson Oliphant has the most carries for the Cowboy offense. This has got to be the most carries he's gotten in the game this year. 7 carries. He's saying, let's try to get this volume down a little bit. I'm not trying to kill my yards per carry.
Yeah, I mean, he might have another big one left in the tank, as he is flanking the quarterback once again.
I'm going to pull out a comparison here. I'm probably going to get roasted for it, but I'm going to do it after this play is all wrapped up, as Riley Kappas runs for a first down and then some. Riley Kappas with a big gain. Call that a gain of about 19, 18. But I was thinking for a second there that when I was watching Lawson Oliphant run, he looked like when he kind of got it in the open field with that speed and just kind of leaving everybody in the dust really quick here, looking explosive in the run game. Kind of remind me when Brian Jacklich got some run at running back. Everybody remembers Brian. Good hips. Fantastic hips, by the way, in the open field. Yeah, that's kind of what he looked like a little bit here. Keep that in mind as you see him juke a couple guys right on the spot right there. What do you think?
It's a good comparison. Brian Jacklich went out to a baseball tournament for Post 53 Legion, pulled an all-nighter, drank a case of Mountain Dew, played Call of Duty, woke up the next day, went 4 for 4. Wouldn't recommend it, but that guy was just wired differently. An absolute natural star.
Oh, yeah. He was he was kind of the textbook of nothing was really going to get to him. I don't know what it was.
Show up and show out. And Lawson Oliphant, definitely a similar skill set for sure.
Yeah, I remember the first game they moved Bry to running back, 6 carries for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns, and it was like, why were we doing this all here? And off tackle, I want to say that was Lawson Oliphant again.
That one might have been Joey Lopez.
Joey Lopez getting some run tonight.
J-Lo. Raleigh Lip, the one who gave him that nickname. I'm not going to take credit for it.
Lots of 2 on the play.
We talk about
Crawl. That's awesome.
It's a good nickname.
That is good. Yeah, I mean, that's when you got a really famous J-Lo already out there. I mean, he's
got his work cut out for him.
And Breckenridge is the only place we don't have to explain. Not that J-Lo, he must mean Jackson Lopez, right? Or Joey Lopez, right? As this time, Gabe Armitage gets a handoff on the jet sweep and is looking to turn the burners on for a big gain.
All the way down near the 25-yard line of the Raiders.
Is there a flag on the play, though? Bummer for Gabe Armitage.
So that one's coming back, and we were talking about Brian Jacklich, and you were also talking about earlier you missed the Breck Wop game. I remember Brian taking a kick return to the house and sticking up a number 1 in the air with his finger, and that thing got called back.
No, it didn't. It didn't get called back. It should have got called back, but it didn't.
It didn't get called back?
No, it didn't. And it was a punt. Because he ran back a punt back-to-back weeks to open up the year. I was like, this guy's unreal.
And that's crazy to me in high school sports that if you get a taunting like that, it comes off the board. That should be something after the play, but I've seen a lot of big plays get erased from a player celebrating.
I couldn't believe Coach Fredrickson didn't nip that in the butt in the first week. I can't believe he whipped it out 2 weeks in a row. We were like, what is he doing? And a big hole to run through for Lawson Oliphant.
He's got to be getting close to the century mark, Turner.
Yeah, it was another 10-yard rush for Lawson. Let's see what my Breckenridge math has got him down at. I got him for 78 yards so far.
Nice night for Lawson Oliphant. It's a good thing you're doing the counting up here.
Yeah, he's going to come out of the game now. We got Hunter Bogenreef getting some run at tight end. Almost had his first varsity catch last week. That's a nice thing I like about head coach Carson Yagi. One thing since he's taken over is when the receivers come in during garbage time, they're going to find something to do. They might actually get a pass thrown to them. That wasn't the case for many years. The coaching staffs were kind of trying their best not to look like they were running up the score, but I think that it's fun that Coach Carson Yagi doesn't mind letting his backup quarterbacks kind of open up the playbook here as the Cowboys lose about 4 or 5 yards on that play.
That was Joey Lopez on the carry who had an interception a couple weeks ago in the end zone, and on that one, nearly forcing a fumble, was once again number 81 for Lake Park-Audubon, Cale Thompson.
Yeah, it was a heads-up play trying to strip that one loose. That was kind of the textbook grab and rip, as we have Charlie Craychaw and Gavin Hoffert, the receivers on the near side, and Jordan Kappas, or my apologies, Eli Kappas, getting some run. Get all my Kappases mixed up here. Or it is Jordan Kappas.
And he was looking for Hunter Bogenreef on that pass over the middle. Hunter Bogenreef, 6'4", 160. He's a freshman. I believe he wears size 14 shoes. Kevin Durant's, if his dad Dan was telling me last year, if I remember correctly. Played some softball with Dan. 6'8", phenomenal first baseman.
Man, I can't imagine playing softball right now. especially in the cold weather like this when my body starts to hurt. As we got a 3rd and 13. 2:23 left in this ball game on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. Cowboys trying to advance to the Section 6A semis. So we got a fumble in the backfield. Had the snap go through Jordan Kappas' hands. He's able to dive on it. And I always got to, every time we got a Kappas in the backfield, I always got to shout out my man, Preston Kappas. Almost every game, got to shout him out, the original Kappas quarterback. But we got a quick timeout. This timeout brought to you by High Camp Construction. You're listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM, watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network.
Take charge of your financial future with a proactive approach from Bremer Bank in Breckenridge. Did you know that Bremer offers more than just traditional banking services? We also offer investment, wealth management, and insurance services for all of your financial needs. Bremer can help you plan for your future and protect what matters most. The professionals at Bremer are ready to help you think ahead. Stop by Bremer today to learn more about our comprehensive financial solutions, or call 218-643-8721.
And welcome back to Cowboy Field. That High Camp Construction timeout. Breckenridge with a 4th and 17. Going to bring out the punt unit. Cooper Roberts doing the honors.
And a good time for him to work on one last punt here. Can never get enough reps on special teams.
Oh, and that one almost got blocked. Over to the right sideline. Levi Christensen getting on his horse. That's a, the thing about being the long snapper is you're also the guy who gets to be the one who gets to tee off on the returner potentially. Could be the first one down there. And Levi Christensen's about as scary as a dude as you can have to get smoked by on a punt return.
He's really coming into his own as an athlete. I am excited to see what he can do on the hardwood this winter. He absolutely just beat up on the JV teams last year.
He was going crazy, wasn't he? Once again, we're excited for basketball, but we're enjoying the football while we got it. You know, I remember talking with, I've heard this from a lot of people, but I always think of Tony Bogenreef. So we were talking about jumping into the seasons, and we both agreed that we're kind of whatever season we're in, that's my favorite season. You know, just roll it. I don't know if he still feels that way. You know, it feels a little concerning when the basketball coaches talk about that they're more excited for a different season, but. Oh, that's going to be a hold. There it is. Holding call, and Besky heads out of bounds. Connor Ernst applying pressure to ride him out. We also got number 11 for the Cowboys. Double check that. Jackson Lopez. Jackson Lopez, who had the touchdown, correct?
Correct.
Off the backwards punt.
Jackson Lopez, the super talented hockey player, as I continue to bounce back between sports tonight. Thank you to everyone who's been tuning in tonight. We have hit the 2-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Breckenridge is ahead of Lake Park-Audubon 36-14 on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard, looking to punch their ticket to round 2 of the Section 6A tournament.
And they've kind of just held Lake Park-Audubon at arm's reach. They took a 23-0 lead into halftime, and each team's have a pair of touchdowns here in the second half, but you know the result's going to end up being the same here, pending the craziest comeback in high school football history. So, Lake Park-Audubon, clock is running for this.
As long as we don't
20.
end up yelling the band is on the field, because those poor guys have been down here playing all night.
Lake Park-Audubon setting up a screen on the left side. Quite a bit of room to run, but the defense eventually makes their way over there. Shout out to the band, by the way. Emily Christensen, or Mrs. Christensen. I always feel weird calling teachers by their first names, but Emily Christensen, Mrs. Christensen, whoever you are, you do a fantastic job getting the band all ready to rock.
Cheerleaders out here tonight, too.
Yeah.
It's just been a good turnout in Breckenridge.
Got to shout out the cheer squad as well. Ella Hershey, Paige Hershey, Sophia Johnson, Athena Levy, Annabella Martinez, and Aubrey Martinez as well. Cheerleader advisors include Christy Hayek and Steph Pausch. Besky drops back to pass and throws it kind of across the body to Hansen, who laid out and tried to get his hands on it, but was not able to come down with it. Hansen, potentially, actually only a sophomore on this squad, so we're going to see a lot of Brody Hansen over the next couple of years here.
Well, Besky coming back under center next year, they could have something.
Excited. Yeah, Nesky's been a fun, dynamic player to see in this ballgame, even though it hasn't really gone his way tonight, but you definitely see the potential. Speaking of potential, it's fun looking at the sideline, seeing all these potentially really good athletes that they got coming up, too, that are still young. Riley Kappas being one of them, of course, a sophomore, and just looking at some other guys. I don't want to put them on the spot here. Some guys who are still on the JV or anything, don't want to put too much hype on them, but incomplete pass.
Charlie Krejci, one of those guys tonight who's been looked at in the passing game and a couple of plays on defense as well.
This might have been Chuck's best game of the year. Yeah,
might have been.
He had that nice grab. He's been holding his own over at corner, and he would have loved to have got that touchdown pass or that touchdown reception earlier too, but that's all right.
Chuck, a really high IQ player when it comes to being out there. Always was that way in baseball. Coached him for a couple of years, and just a smart kid and does the most with the tools he's got, and that's going to find he's going to find his way onto the field with that.
Well, his dad's side of the family is pretty smart, so I'm assuming that's where he picked that up because it definitely wasn't my side. So we got some pressure. It's thrown down the field, wide open receiver. Oh, and he was not able to catch that, but that could have been 6 potentially. I think one of those defenders would have ran it down, but got behind the defense regardless, and that'll be turnover on downs. We'll see if we get to see the victory formation. I assume that's what they're going to be coming out with.
Little note for you, Turner, as you call it the best formation in football, the victory formation. So Wahpeton is exclusively a shotgun team, not a single snap under center.
Yep.
They do the victory formation out of the gun.
So does Breck.
Okay.
And I'm okay with it. Okay, originally I was like, what are we doing here? This seems like you're just begging for a fumble, because that's where my brain went. But then someone pointed out to me that wouldn't it be more likely for it to be a fumble if you haven't taken a snap under snap and your center, puts a little too much mustard on it because they're used to doing shotgun snaps. So this might be the safer bet. I'm not sure if that logic holds, but I see where they're coming from. But Trey Vogelbacher will be kneeling it down eventually, taking his sweet time, and I'll let the play clock wind down. 30 seconds left. I don't think they have to take a knee again, and that will do it. Breckenridge win their playoff opener. Final score, 36-14 over Lake Park-Audubon. We'll take a quick break, come back with your Miller Realty postgame show. You've been listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live.
Mindak Farmers Cooperative is proud to be serving the Red River Valley since 1974. The staff in Mindak Farmers Cooperative would like to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of the agribusiness community. From the fields to the parts stores to the factory, everyone works together to sweeten the local economy, pumping millions into the strength of our schools, communities, and businesses. Thanks to all for helping support the local farmer and our communities. Pure sugar by nature. Mindak Farmers Cooperative in Wahpeton. At Sienna Court, it's about hospitality, compassion, and people who care. But don't take my word for it. Listen to Herb, a Sienna Court resident.
I like it very much. Why not? They take care of all my needs. I'm leading a good life up there. No, they're all great. I have it. They all do everything they can for you. Special people downstairs, too, St. Catherine's. They even ask you things that you're doing for yourself. They can do that for you. That's the way they are. No, they're very good people. All of them.
Living the good life with hospitality, compassion, and people who care. That's what Sienna Court is all about.
Now you can plug into reliable service. Call Somerville Electric in Breckenridge. They've been serving the area since 1985 and are locally owned. For years, their promise has been and will be reliable service and dependability. The proof and the quality is there when you need fast, dependable electric service and professional electricians. Just plug in. Call Somerville Electric at 643-3435. Somerville Electric would like to wish the Breckenridge Cowgirls and Cowboys good luck in tonight's game.
Valley Bead Service and Manufacturing in Dwight will be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week during the main campaign. Count on Valley Bead Service to keep things running smooth with an extensive supply of parts on hand for all brands of harvesters and quick turnaround time for on-site repairs. Valley Bead Service and Manufacturing has a service truck and is ready to get you back to work with experience and 24-hour in-field service. Valley Bead Service and Manufacturing is the name you can trust for this year's harvest. Call Tony at 642-1181.
And welcome to the Miller Realty Postgame Show. Tradition of knowledge, integrity, trust, and all the other good stuff you can expect from Miller Realty. I messed up that tag.
There's some service in there, too.
Yeah, they serve. They're awesome at Miller Realty. Make sure to tell them Turner sent you because they're really nice over there. But Breckenridge took a 23-0 lead into halftime. Closed it out with a 36-14 final score on your Carlson Family Insurance scoreboard. And Breckenridge coming out and hopefully setting the tone for a long playoff run potentially. But what did you see from the Cowboys that you thought you liked tonight, Robert? As far as just kind of taking care of business against a foe that obviously Breckenridge kind of came in the heavy favorites. What do you think of how they performed?
Well, I thought they did a really nice job of just executing no matter what package they were in, no matter what mix of players they had out there. Different quarterbacks, different guys in the backfield. They just showed once again that they're not a one-trick pony, and that if a team does figure them out, they're able to pivot, and just very multifaceted, I thought. Kind of a broad answer, but that's what I saw.
No, I like that. I like that. It's a lot of guys who are in postseason form. That's what you want when you get to the postseason. So, it'd be kind of bad if you're in the postseason talking about midseason form. So you want everybody in postseason form. So we'll run through the State Farm stat report brought to you by State Farm agents Matt and Amanda Frederick. And we'll start off with the scoring, as we like to do. And Breckenridge, as we said, took a 23-0 lead into halftime. Actually led 30-0 at one point in this ballgame. Gabe Armitage got the party started with a 3-yard touchdown. You get a 3-yard touchdown. And then Levi Christensen gets a 3-yard touchdown from Riley Kappas. And then a 3-yard touchdown for Cooper Roberts from Trey Vogelbacher. All coming in the first half once again. 2-point conversions were both run in by Riley Kappas on the first two touchdowns. And extra point was booted by David Erlinson on the third one. Fourth touchdown of the game was an 8-yard quarterback keeper from Trey Vogelbacher. David Erlinson booted the extra point to make it a 30-0 advantage. Lake Park-Audubon got on the board with a 6-yard touchdown, and that was a connection between Luca Besky and Benjamin Newman. Had to make sure to check that. Yeah, for the 6-yard touchdown. Riley Kappas came back with a touchdown of his own from 10 yards out. Extra point was blocked, make it 36-8, and then with 9:13 left in the fourth quarter, they broke off a 46-yard touchdown. That was Cale Thompson breaking free for the TD, and that was how we got our final score, 36-14 here at Cowboy Field. And now to run through the stats for you, Trey Vogelbacher throwing the ball today, only completed one of those 5 pass attempts, but it was a 3-yard score, so he'll take it. And then Riley Kappas completed 3 of his 5 passes all in the first half for 27 yards. Paul Armitage went over the century mark, only had 1 carry in the second half, but that 1 carry was 24 yards to put him over. He had 104 yards on 13 carries on the day, and no touchdowns. I just realized I was about to give him a touchdown there, but he did not have one. But Riley Kappas, 7 carries for 44 yards. He did find the end zone, as did Gabe Armitage. He had 3 carries for 14 yards. Oh, he didn't find it. I meant Trey Vogelbacher, who had 2 carries for 18 yards and a touchdown. Lawson Oliphant, 9 carries for 78 yards on a very strong second half. 55 of those yards coming in the second half when he started to kind of step into Paul Armitage's role. And then receiving stats, can't forget about that. Charlie Krejcod, 1 catch for 17 yards. 2 catches for 10 yards for Cooper Roberts. 1 catch for 3 yards for Levi Christensen. And then on to the defensive statistics, we got Riley Kappas with an interception. Aiden Sanchez had an interception. Kai McDonald and Levi Christensen each had a sack. David Erlinson forced a fumble. Cooper Roberts recovered a fumble. So 22 turnovers through 9 games. So I was going to say 8 games. That's crazy. That would have been like 3 a game. But that seems a little more realistic there. But what do you think what did you think you saw from the defense? I know you don't get to watch this team as much, Robert, but you probably thought I might have been gassing them up a little bit too much with all the turnovers, but was it fun to watch how they perform on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, as a resident Wahpeton guy here on the air, Wahpeton Huskies, a team who has went multiple weeks in a row without a single turnover. So Breckenridge putting up 2 to 3 a game, very impressive, and just chasing the quarterback around, and I think it all starts with the pursuit there. I mean, where do we start? Henry sled it all. Tonight it was Levi Christensen blowing up blockers, and Kai McDonald, 4.5 sacks to lead this green machine. Very impressive. Like you said, it'd just be nice to see those two teams play each other, but I digress. Very good game for the Breckenridge defense
Let's
tonight.
get a scrimmage together one of these years or something. We got to figure this out. But let's look at your State Farm Stat Report, part of the Miller Realty Postgame Show. Take our final break here and then come back with your play of the game brought to you by Red River Agency, as well as your player of the game brought to you by Essentia Health. You've been listening to Cowboy Football on B92.7 FM and watching on YouTube at KBMW News Live. We'll return on your postgame show in just a minute.
At American Family Insurance, protecting farms and ranches is at the heart of what they do. They understand the hard work that goes into building and sustaining your business, and that's why they offer customizable policies that protect everything you've worked for. Let's build the policy your farm deserves. Contact Shannon Miller at Miller & Associates today at 218-643-3665 or stop by their office at 1329 Highway 75 North in Breckenridge. Good luck to the Breckenridge Cowboys in tonight's game from Miller & Associates American Family Insurance.
Are you tired of impersonal service and surprise fees from your bank? Time to change that, and fast. Just open your new checking account at Bell Bank, in person or online. It's America's best checking, and we'll work with you to make your switch as smooth as possible. Get started at bell.bank/easy. Already a happy Bell customer? Tell a friend. Once they switch, you'll both get $50. Bell Bank, member FDIC. Bonus will be deposited within 5 business days after qualifications are met. $50 minimum deposit to open.
B92.7 is KBMW Breckenridge Wahpeton.
All the hits from 2KM today.
And welcome back to the Miller Realty Postgame Show here on B92.7 FM and live streaming on YouTube at KBMW News Live, part of the I3G Media Sports Network. And time for your play of the game, brought to you by Red River Agency, your hometown agents in Breckenridge. Make sure to go check out their new location while you're at it, and go see how they can help you out with your business. And wanted to do our play of the game now, and they got a lot of choices as always. You can go with pretty much any of the scoring plays. I went with a turnover last week that I thought was really big for setting the tone for the ball game. I could probably do that again this week with some of the plays we saw early on that kind of got Breckenridge, where they needed to be. But I guess biggest impact play for this one, I'm going to go with that touchdown right before halftime where Trey Vogelbacher found Cooper Roberts, because I think if that's a 2-score game heading into halftime, it's a completely different dynamic. As we saw, Lake Park-Audubon was competitive in the second half. They actually scored more than Breckenridge in the second half. Granted, they were down 30-0 when they got the scoring going, but I think that was big for the Cowboys' confidence to be able to get that one more touchdown before the break. And then they came out, and you could say maybe it's just as important that they forced a turnover right after the halftime as well. So either of those plays were, I'm just trying to remember what the turnover was. I believe that was the fumble recovery, correct? I think it was,
start the second half. That was forced by David Erlinson, who we didn't know if he was going to play tonight. To come in and do some good things and show off that boot and kick a couple PATs.
I can't wait to see him actually be able to get some carries back out of the backfield, which is wild when you think how much of an impact he had on this game, and he wasn't even playing his best position. That's unreal to think about. And Breckenridge winning by 3 touchdowns without one of their top rushers as well is pretty impressive. So I'm going to go with 2 players of the game. I'm going to go first that turnover, first I'll go with that touchdown that was right before halftime with Cooper Roberts snagging that 3-yard touchdown grab and finally ending that touchdown drop, by the way. And then the turnover at the beginning of the second half, because that kind of just helped Breckenridge keep it rolling there. David Erlinson forcing it. Cooper Roberts got that one too. So Cooper Roberts on both of our plays of the game. Should give him the clean sweep and give him player of the game too, but I'm not going to do that. I've already got him this year. But player of the game, man. What do you think? What are you thinking, Bert? You got any candidates you really or think you should? Like we said, the pass rush was looking great. You know what? I found my answer right there. Levi Christensen, my player of the game. I'm pretty sure I already got you once this year, but it looks like I'm getting you again this time around because he got his first touchdown in the air. I think that's going to be big for his confidence going forward, and also, like we talked about, was just causing pressure like crazy. I know the whole defensive front was making Besky run like crazy, but I think Levi Christensen was really setting the tone on defense as well.
Yeah, and if you guys are watching this right now on our YouTube, ignore the little Huskies logo on player of the game, but Levi Christensen, he was indeed a dog tonight. You said it best. He was blowing up those blocks in the backfield. I'd hate to be a running back. He was just coming in there, and he'd get off the first blocker, and he just had his GPS set right on the quarterback and causing havoc and hitting home for a sack. And that sack was incredible because he got the quarterback, and then everybody converged on the quarterback, and we're like, where is he? And then he just came dragging him out of the mess. Great night for Levi.
He always finishes the plays very strong, even to a fault at times where it looks like, he might get in trouble slamming a guy on their head right there.
And if he would have picked him up in the air, it probably would have been unnecessary roughness, but he just wrangled him like a cowboy.
Yeah, you'd rather have a cowboy tackle than a WWE tackle, that is for sure. Breckenridge will move on to play, presumably Parker's Prairie. Parker's Prairie is squaring off with Brandon Evansville Ashby tonight. And that game will be here on B92.7 FM. Not sure on the game time. We're going to have to make sure to check on that. I believe they usually do, I want to say it's like a 4 o'clock time for the Saturday game.
It's like a late afternoon matinee, something like that.
Because it's always, the sun always goes down. You always get a good amount of sunlight in the beginning of the second round playoff game, it seems like. But then when you come out of the locker room, the sun's gone. But make sure to loop back here for this will be on Cowboy Field. Breckenridge, that was the big thing about them getting the 2 seed. Guaranteed them two home playoff games if they were able to win the first one. So make sure to loop back here once again. Join us on B92.7 FM or live stream it on YouTube at KBMW News Live. Thanks for joining me tonight, Robert. That was fun.
Yeah, I had a blast, and I'll join you again on Saturday if you don't mind.
Hey, if you don't mind, man. I don't want to make you work too much. I know you're going to be covering out the Wildcats, too. If you guys didn't know, Robert's filming a documentary on the North Dakota State College of Science football team. He's going to be covering Breckenridge volleyball tomorrow, and also he's going to be covering Wapton football on Friday. So I don't know how you're going to squeeze in a Saturday game, but if you can, I'd love to have you.
We'll figure it out. We'll make it work.
All right. Well, appreciate it. Appreciate you hopping on. And once again, final score, Breckenridge coming away with the victory in the Section 6A opener, 36-14 over Lake Park-Audubon. We'll see you on Saturday.
Tonight's playoff broadcast was brought to you by Breckenridge Public Schools, Builders First Source, Carlson Family Insurance, CHI St. Francis, Essentia Health, Farmers Union Oil of Southern Valley, Frederick Seed, Hike Camp Construction, Miller Realty, Minn Kota Ag Products, Ottertail Power Company, Quality Toyota, Red River Agency, Red River Grain, Smith Motors, State Farm Agents Matt and Amanda Frederick, Titan Machinery, Twin Town Villa, Vision Ford, American Family Insurance, Miller & Associates, Bell Bank, Big John's Car Pro, Breckenridge Drug, Bremer Bank, Mindeck Farmers Cooperative, St. Catharines, Somerville Electric, and Valley Beach Service and Manufacturing. Be sure to go to kbmwnews.com for a complete updated list of future broadcasts and video streams. And make sure to catch the Giant Sports Show every Saturday at 9 a.m. Thanks for listening.